Good evening, everyone. My name is Guerric, and tonight we're sampling Cerebria with the full contingent of 6 players. So on the Bliss team tonight, we have Tristan,
Hello.
we have Alan.
Hello.
Over on the Gloom team, we have Brian,
Hello.
we have Lily,
Howdy.
and then here on balance are myself and Fugless.
Hey.
So Alan has not played. We're going to give him a teach. I definitely did not prepare enough, but here we go. So Alan,
nothing.
the goal of the game is to have the most victory points at the end. Surprise, surprise. Victory points are tracked in 2 ways. There is a victory point tracker here. And then over the course of the game, we will be scoring objectives, which will place these weird pieces into the center of the board, building a tower up until it is eventually capped or we trigger the end game in a different way. You will notice the box right here says how much each piece is worth for being in the center. So those small ones are worth 3 victory points, the large ones are worth 5, and the cap is worth 4. Make sense so far?
Sure.
The game is played in a continuous series of turns where we will alternate from team to team. So turn order is going to be something like, Tristan, Lily, myself, you, Brian, Fugless, or something like that.
I'll make it right now, by the
Yeah.
way.
On your turn, you will take 3 actions plus a potential free action. There are 11 actions in the game that you can take, which is my favorite thing to say during a teach. And the actions that are available to you are the ones that are on your board here. The move, invoke, quell, fortify, and empower actions, as well as 5 actions that are listed on the map: Network of Thoughts, Land of Desires, Willow of Values, Valley of Motives, and Cradle of Senses. And then the 11th action is the bonus action I alluded to earlier called Absorb, represented by your action tracker here. You simply flip it over when you take the action. Make sense so far?
Sure.
Yeah, no, it's the teach is going to be like this. We'll get through it.
Right.
That's fine. This feels very mind clashy.
It is very mind clashy.
It's a challenging game to teach, but it's actually not that hard once you start playing it.
Once you get into it, yeah. So you'll track your actions by moving this along the tracker or flipping this in the case of Absorb, and then it circles back around and you'll have a little upkeep thing where you can either flip over an ambition, which is just a special resource, or you can draw the top 2 cards of your deck, which are similarly a resource. And then if you have no willpower, another resource, then you will gain 1 free willpower. And that'll be the basic flow of your turn.
Yeah, this was definitely made by the same people who made Anachrony.
Yeah. The game is basically an area control game. Oh, can I see your... Am I seeing your hand for some reason?
No.
Yeah, you've joined our team.
Oh, that's why.
Spying on us, Guerric. I'll just reshuffle our hands quickly.
Focus is spades. There we go. Yeah, sorry guys, I didn't even notice I was accidentally on your team somehow.
That's how we're gonna win.
The game is basically an area control game where the cards in your decks and in your hand will be going out onto spaces on the map and having a certain amount of essence on them, which are these go stones, I believe is what they basically are in TTS here. In real life, they're like those, what is it, Mancala stones or whatever. And they represent the strength of the individual spirit or emotion, depending upon how many are filling up the track So it's a strength of 1 right now, even though it has 2 essence on it. But now, with a 3rd essence, it becomes a strength of 2.
Wait, what card is this?
I'm seeing kindness. What are you seeing?
Tranquility.
Yeah, I see tranquility.
Tranquility as well.
Yeah, I'm also
fuck?
seeing tranquility.
What does it say when you hover over it?
Nothing. Oh, now it's kindness. It's probably the
Whee!
TTS bug.
Yeah, it's
Thinking
probably
on the
just
other hand.
desynced for whatever reason. All right, but now does my example make sense?
Yes, because I was like,
That is far more sense. Yes.
Anyway, the other 2 things you need to know about these emotions is they will have a suit in their top left corner, which is denoted by a color and a symbol. And they will have a special ability listed in arcane icons on the bottom of the card. You will not
all
be
right
able.
here.
You will not be able to decipher them based just on the symbology. You will need to use these booklets here.
Which one? This one?
Yep.
Yeah, the bliss emotions. It's both of these. Yeah, split up into the 4 different suits.
So like kindness is right there. So yeah.
Yeah. And the reason only about half of these look familiar is because the ones that have the arrow symbol next to their picture are upgraded versions of these cards, which are in a whole separate deck over here, and we'll get into that later.
Okay.
You'll have a character on the map, and you can use the move action to go from space to space. Spaces are represented by these circles with a white dot in the center, and you can travel along any path connecting them if you can make it out through the layers and layers of art.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the basic high level. Oh, let me talk about how the map is divided real quick, and then we'll start getting into specifics. The map is basically separated into multiple overlapping regions. So there are frontiers, which are the triad represented like this. And the frontiers control is marked on here. Could someone grab the control marker and throw it down there so you see what I'm talking about? So that would be denoting that it's controlled by gloom or bliss, depending upon which side it's on. And if it was not on the space, the frontier is not controlled by anyone, either because it's in balance or because nothing is there. Additionally, there are, I forget the technical term, regions? Realms, thank you. Realms are signified with this disc surrounding the action. Realms consist of the 2 spaces immediately in them, and then they also consist of these ones that are on the border here. However, spirits of the wrong or opposing team will block spirits here. Thank you very much. So currently, Network of Thoughts would only see kindness for determining control of the realm. Because
So even if it only had 1 power and this had 2 power, it wouldn't matter because it just blocks it.
Yep, it just hard blocks it for being in this space. Is that making sense?
Okay. Kinda.
Well, oopsie. Well, adding on to that, the region is controlled by the total strength of the spirits in the region, both for frontiers and realms. I realized I skimmed over that part. So Bliss would have 3 total strength in Network of Thoughts right now. And Gloom would have 2 if it were not being blocked by kindness.
As part of it, but this frontier is different because
Yes,
Gloom would actually have this frontier because they have 2.
exactly.
And Bliss only has 1.
Yeah.
And Cradle of Senses would be controlled by Gloom because there's nothing blocking it in this space, and hostility is 2 strength in there.
Sure.
I understand.
Even though there's 4 presence here, it's still only 2 intensity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Not a problem.
All right. So let's start going through the actions, because I think that's the basic gist of everything. Move is... Oh, let's talk about what the heck these boards are talking about when they have these rows. Your actions have their basic version in this leftmost column, and then they have 3 separate upgrades that you can choose to take for them in any order, in any combination, on an action per action basis. If that makes sense.
Certainly.
At the start of the game...
So like I could skip straight to this middle one if I didn't want those.
Absolutely.
Cool.
At the start of the game, you'll have 4 of these Wild Bliss vibes, which you are free to place in any combination of actions and their upgrades, however you want to do it.
Alright.
And over the course of the game, you will be able to add more vibe tokens via discarding cards from your hand. I'll go over this more in a second. To put a vibe matching the card in a row. However, you can never have more than 1 color within a row. Excluding the wild setup ones. So move cannot have 2 love vibes. It would need other colors.
It's not a big thing. Just know you can't do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm not going to go over every single upgrade for all of these actions, but just as a quick primer, note that some of them have additional costs to them. You need to pay that additional cost to activate the upgraded part of the action, but you can still take the basic action without the upgrade. If that makes sense. And if there's no cost, you can choose whether or not to use it as part of the basic action without paying an additional cost for it.
Just to be clear, so like you're always taking the base action, so then you would pay 1 to move 1 space. If you wanted to move 3 spaces, or 3 spaces total, you have to pay a second one. But you're always paying this base cost. So if you're moving 3 spaces, you have to pay 2. Not just the upgrade. You have to pay all of it every time.
But even after you've taken this, you do not permanently have to pay 2 to move. You can choose just to pay the 1 and not have the extra movement.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll go over your board before we start the game, because every board is different. So I will go over them. Once he explains all the base actions, then we can go over your board in specifics.
So moving works pretty much the way you would expect. Moving from one space to another. By default, you cannot be co-located with a gloom spirit. Is that what his 3rd upgrade is allowing for? Okay.
Yep.
And then your 2nd one is increasing the number of spaces you can move, as we alluded to, and the 4th is a discount. And that's really all there is for move. It's quite simple.
You can be in our spaces, the balance spaces. Balance are considered... you're neutral. You can be in the same spot as we are. There's no problem with that.
Balance is weird. Don't worry about balance. Invoke is the action you use to play cards from your hand into a slot that you are adjacent to. So in the current case, you would not be able to play a card because the only adjacent spot is full. However, if you were over here, you could play a card here. And if you were over here, you could play into either of these 2 spots. That's the invoke action.
Correct.
In addition
So that's not adding any of the essence to it. That's just playing a card.
That's what I was about to go over. In addition to paying the 2 willpower to activate invoke, you need to have at least 1 essence on your board, for the basic action at least. Because you will be placing 1 essence onto the card when you play it.
So if you played Excitement right here, you'd pay 2 of the purple, and you'd have to have at least 1 of these.
Which you would put right there.
On there, right there. Yep. That would be the complete action, essentially. And don't worry about his upgrade.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go over the rest of the upgrades here. But yeah, that is it for Invoke. Some of your cards, like Excitement, will have a when played ability that will resolve after you finish invoking it. Quelling is how you attack other people's cards, basically. When you are adjacent to an enemy's spirit or emotion, whatever they're called, you can take the Quell action, which requires 2 willpower, as well as flipping 1 face-up ambition token face down. And you will remove 1 essence from the card, the rightmost essence, so long as you can reveal a card from your hand matching the vibe of the enemy card.
So to take 1 off hostility, you'd have to have a red card in your hand. You just have to reveal it, say I have one. Boom. Now each side's gonna have basic emotions.
Yeah, I was about to go over that.
Yeah, and for that you could just reveal any card. You
Yeah.
don't have to.
Brightness and bleakness is the other alternative. They do require a card, but any card will do. The color doesn't matter.
And as you might suspect, if you take off the final, you call off the final essence, the card is removed entirely.
Yep, it'll go back to the person's deck at the bottom. Yeah, Fugless, I'll let you go over the upgrades later. The next action is Fortify. Fortifying is letting you place a minor fragment into the hexagons on the sides of the map here. Only if the region is not controlled by an opponent. And when that fragment is placed in there, it will give +1 control for your team in that region. Okay?
Don't worry about the pull in the middle.
Yeah, I'll describe that when we go over Revelations later. So I'm just going to leave that out for now. The next action is Empower. This is how you upgrade your emotions into their more powerful forms. When you take the Empower action, do you have to be adjacent to the...
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You have to be adjacent to the emotion, and it needs to have as much essence as is listed on the card for the arrow symbol, if you can see it. That's a terrible sentence, but
so
I
like
think you...
this couldn't... No, I know. So this could not be empowered, but this could because it matches that arrow. Now, obviously, this could also be empowered.
Yes.
It just has to have at least to the arrow.
Yeah, I said that terribly, but that's what you do. And then each card has an associated upgraded version. You will pull out that specific card from the deck and play it. Is it... That doesn't look right. Benevolence, thank you.
And it gets the same amount of essence.
Yeah, so any essence that was on Kindness will carry over to its upgraded version. Kindness would go back to the bottom of your deck, and you would now have this stronger version with a new ability, which is similarly a stronger version of Kindness's ability.
Yeah, they're usually very similar, just better.
Yeah. If an upgraded spirit is ever quelled down to 0, it does not, revert to its previous version. It's just straight up removed back to the deck.
So I could, in theory, have Kindness and
Benevolence, yes.
Benevolence, but if Benevolence is removed, it goes back to the upgraded deck.
Yes.
Okay.
And I should mention, I believe you're going to have 2 of each spirit in your deck out of 6 different spirits, right? Is that what his deck's made of? 2 times each of 6 cards?
Yes.
8 cards.
8 cards, thank you.
Yep. Yeah, your deck has 2 of each color, and you can kind of, if you want to, you could probably search and so you know which one's in your deck. But
if you
for
want
your first game, yeah, it's not probably that useful. There's so much to worry about.
Yeah, it's not information you need to worry about right now.
Yeah,
so those are your 5 board actions. Let's go over the 5 map actions real quick, which are generally simpler. A quick note on all of the map actions. When your team controls the region, that is associated, the realm that is associated with the action, you get a 1 willpower discount on the action. So you control Network of Thoughts, it's only going to cost 1 willpower instead of 2. So let's go through them one by one, starting with Network of Thoughts. Network of Thoughts lets you move any one of your spirits or emotions. I don't know why I keep saying that. From wherever it is on the map to one of the spots that is adjacent to you.
I always say this, it's super underutilized, but it's actually really good. Just I think no one ever remembers to do it.
Yeah, it's one of those actions that you basically only see it like once or twice per game, but those 1 or 2 times are super important.
Yeah.
So, do you have to be in any specific location to use any of these actions, or
You
can
do not.
always do any of them?
You can always do
You
them.
can always do any of them. This is the only one that kind of matters for adjacency. Well, I guess the other ones, this one does too. But you can be anywhere on the board to use any of the realm actions. There are some adjacency rules, so obviously, like this one's going to pull into adjacent to wherever you are. So,
But you
Yeah.
don't need to be
you
near
can do
Network
them
of Thoughts to use Network of
Exactly.
Thoughts.
Okay.
Next one is Land of Desires. It costs 1 willpower, or if you control it, it costs nothing, and it lets you place 1 essence that's already on your board onto an adjacent emotion. And then additionally, you can continue to place essence that's on your board at a cost of 1 willpower per essence. That additional cost does not get discounted by controlling the region, so you'll never place more than 1 for free.
So basically, you just, with the exception of the first one, which could be discounted, if you do Land of Desires, you could just get 1-for-1 willpower to essence for an adjacent card.
Yep, you got it.
Seems simple enough.
Next one is Willow of Values. At an initial cost of 1 willpower to take the action, or none if you control, you can convert willpower you have to essence and put it on your board. 1-to-1. As much as you want.
Okay. Well, it's the first time anyone said how you get essence, so that seems important.
Yep,
There's other ways, but that's one of the main ways.
Yeah. Valley of Motives. At a cost of 1 willpower or none if you control it, you get 4 willpower from the supply. So that's your, I don't have enough willpower, here's how I get more action.
Okay. So I'm going to ask the dumb question. If I have no willpower, I can't actually take that action, correct?
Correct. So probably the single most common reason for retconning a turn is to just be like, oh wait, I took Valley of Motives first.
Right. I ran out of money, so let me do that first, and then I'll do my turn.
The final realm action is Cradle of Senses. At a cost of 1 or none if you control it, you draw 1 card from your deck, right? I'm saying that right?
Yep.
And then additional cards can be drawn at a cost of 2 willpower per. And again, that does not get discounted by controlling the realm. Similar to Land of Desires. Yeah.
Okay. So these 3 all just center around gathering resources. The bottom 2 kind of focus on shifting resources around.
Yep, you got it.
Simple enough.
Yep, and the good news is you just learned the 10 actions that you can do.
Plus the 1 more that we need to go over.
I've heard there's an 11th.
There is an 11th. A fabled 11th.
So before he explains it, this action can be done anytime during your turn.
Yep.
And
Before,
it's
in between, or after your actions. And yeah, it is optional. You do not have to take it.
It's totally optional. Now, there are strategic reasons why you don't want to do it sometimes. I think in the several games we've played recently, I think it's only happened maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
But it's certainly possible. So yeah, it's just a strategy thing. Go ahead.
So it's the absorb action, which is represented by this symbol. You flip it over to show that you're taking it. And what it's doing is it's letting you draw a certain number of willpower from these spaces in the center on the origin board here. They all start with 8 in them. And something special happens when they get brought down to 0. I'll mention what that is in a second. But first, when you choose to absorb, you will pick one of these, a single one of these pools to draw from that you are adjacent to. If you are On a frontier space like this, it is either of the two near you. If you are in a realm, it is just the one that's straight in line with you.
Sure.
The amount of willpower you draw is 2 plus an additional 1. Thank you. For each frontier that you are near, basically. So in a realm, it's checking both of the frontiers near you. If you are in the frontier itself, it is only checking the one frontier that you're in. Okay. So you're drawing anywhere from 2 to 4 willpower from a pool, depending upon where you are and who controls the frontiers near you.
Okay, so it's only if you control the frontier
Yes.
that you get the extra.
Yep.
Okay.
Additionally, whichever one of these circles you end up drawing from, it will give you an additional bonus on top of the willpower you suck out of it. This one is 2 willpower from the supply, not from the pool. Okay? This gives you a vibe token of the color of your choice that you can place on any action on your board.
As an upgrade.
As an upgrade, yeah. Is it only as an upgrade, or can you place it on an action you don't have unlocked yet?
Oh, no, you can do it there.
Yeah.
I just meant that as a general term.
This one, at a cost of 1 willpower, you can flip over a single ambition, making it available for use.
Okay.
This gives you 1 card draw, and this gives you 1 essence.
Sure. So again, the top 3 are all resource-based.
Well, it's not going to be top 3 because when you do pull from the middle, it rotates.
Yep. So after you suck, it will rotate, and this is where things get a little funky. If you ever drain a pool to 0 with your absorb action, before you rotate the board, you will do what is called a revelation. We will pause the game, look at the current scoring condition, and see who has completed it. Additionally, each team will have had a secret aspiration that they were working towards. These are these decks here. You will reveal those and reveal if you have accomplished it or not. Any team that has accomplished both objectives places a major fragment in the center. Any team that has accomplished just one of the 2 objectives places a minor fragment. If you accomplished neither, you get nothing. And if you ever cannot place a fragment that you need to place, you will place your cap.
And that'll end the game.
Yes. So that is one of the end game triggers right there, is placing the cap.
So that would be like just if you were out of one of the things, like you've played all 3 major fragments out already, you're forced to play the cap.
Yep.
Okay.
After checking the scoring conditions, people will discard their hidden aspiration and get a new one. We will discard the public objective and move on to the next one. Whoever has the fewest victory points at the time of the revelation will get to move any one of the public scoring conditions to a different spot in sequence. What's up?
Also, if you scored nothing during that revelation, you're going to get to draw 3, pick one
Yes.
of your hidden aspirations.
Instead of just
basically
taking the next one.
Yeah.
This game has a lot of catch-up mechanisms, basically.
Okay.
Also, for your secret objective, if it matches the public aspiration, you have to bottom deck it.
Yeah, and just draw a new one. It can never match the public one at the same time, because that would be too easy.
Match meaning literally do the same thing?
Yes.
Yeah, those cards match the cards that are up there, so.
Okay.
Or it may be some difference because we pull out some for a balance game, so there might be some that you don't see up there, but in general, they match those exactly.
Okay.
Like picture to picture, almost.
Okay.
You also skipped over.
I was about to do that.
I was
about to do that now.
And did not place this turn. that will also get added to the identity.
Yes. So that's why fortresses matter. If this pool is the one that you drain to 0 as part of your absorb action, this will get added to the center so long as you did not just place it this turn.
Okay, so do you only score those if they get pulled in?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, there's just adding intensity to the region. And the intensity does go away when the fortress gets sucked in.
Right.
Yeah, for your team, there is a strong emotion you can get that makes them worth points on the board.
Gotcha. All right. You follow all that?
Yeah.
All right. That is like 90% of the teach. There's only a few more things we need to go over.
Yeah, you
I was about to
covered ambition.
I haven't covered ambition. I haven't covered upgrading actions or intentions. So let's go through those.
Do ambition first.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, at the end of your turn, after you've taken all your actions, you can choose to either flip an ambition or draw 2 cards. Ambition is a resource, which can be used for a few things. In addition to being used for Quell and various upgraded versions of actions, you can use it for any of the things that are listed here on your team board underneath Ambition. The first one is that you can flip a single ambition to get a vibe token.
And this is a free action anytime during your turn.
Yep. The second one is that you can flip an ambition to rotate the origin board once.
It's always clockwise.
Yep. And the third is that you can spend 2 ambition to gain 1 extra action this turn. Now, an important note, you can never activate these ambition things more than once in a turn. So you cannot activate this twice or this twice, or if you somehow were to gain an extra ambition mid-turn, this twice. Make sense?
Yeah.
Let's talk about intentions. Intentions are these things listed here, and they are how you gain victory points during the game besides putting pieces into the center, which is what this track over here is for. It's the intentions track. You will get 1 victory point on the intentions track for the first of any of these that you accomplish on your turn, and then you will gain 2 victory points for every subsequent one you accomplish within the same turn, including if you accomplish the same condition again. So the first condition is if you is that if you fill up a card?
No, this one.
What's that one? Is that quelling?
It's quelling.
Yeah. So anytime you quell an essence off of a card, you will get that intention. So either 1 victory point or 2. The next one is if you take the absorb action, and in doing so, take 4 or more, or 4 pieces from the pool. That's an intention.
Meaning you owned both frontiers and were on this space.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to get 4.
There's technically a couple other ways you could make it happen, but we're not going to talk about them.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that is
those don't
not
score
referencing
you.
diligence.
No, there's like a there's a card that lets you suck an extra 1 from the pool is what I was talking about, Brian.
Yep. Just for clarity's sake, I'm going to guess that the extra willpower you get from diligence would not count.
It would not. It
does not. Nope.
It's specifically from the pool.
Yep.
The next one is if you place an essence that completely fills a card. This does not include the basic emotions of brightness and bleakness. But it will count if you ever fill an emotion, somehow it loses 1, and then you fill it again. Or if you empower an emotion to a new version that gains an extra slot, and you then fill that slot.
Well,
if that makes sense.
There's a few emotions that only have 2. Like tranquility only has 2.
Yeah.
That one counts.
It does.
Even though it's just 2.
So does that all make sense?
I think so.
And then the final intention is if you ever fully upgrade an action. get all 4 of the spots filled with vibe tokens.
Okay. Just one clarity thing, and you probably said this, and I
Sure.
just didn't quite follow it. So if I have, say, kindness filled up with the 3, and then I upgrade it to... Oh, that's not a good example. Let's say I had... Oh, nope. Actually, you know what? Never mind. None of these cards ever do that, so my question is not relevant.
All right.
Actually, no. Okay, so Tranquility only has 2 slots.
Yes.
Serenity has 3.
Yeah, so if you were to place an additional one onto Serenity, you would trigger the intention again.
Okay.
However, if it's a case where like self-esteem goes to dignity, it does not trigger just for empowering self-esteem if it was full.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, I think just about the last important thing to mention is how you actually upgrade these besides spending ambition or doing the sucky suck over here. Anytime you are about to take one of these actions, move, invoke, quell, fortify, or empower, and this will allow you to take an action you don't currently have unlocked. This will make more sense in a second. You can choose to discard any 1 card from your hand, to place a matching vibe on the action you are about to take. If it's an action you don't have unlocked, it has to go in the leftmost slot so that you can now take it. Otherwise, it can go on any of the upgrades. But again, it has to be for the action that you are taking at that moment.
Okay.
And the vibe has to match the card.
And it's a good time to tell him what his power is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get in there.
Yep. Dovetails quite nicely. Your special power is that you can. Well, let me make sure I don't say it wrong. So let me double check it in the rule book. Why is your...
So you can
Yeah.
you can discard 2 cards, so upgrade 2 actions at once, and neither of the suits need to match the upgrade token you put down. I'm pretty sure how it works.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So when you're
and
upgrading,
even if you only discard 1 card, it still doesn't have to match.
yes. So basically, half of what I just taught you is wrong. You don't need to match color to vibe, and you can do it twice.
So your board will be, if you want to just get cards as fast as possible, your board can be crazy upgraded very quickly.
Yeah, and that's why your character is great for new players, because you can just supercharge yourself.
So things I can use cards for is basically I can discard them to upgrade my actions as I'm taking them. But specifically only to upgrade actions. I couldn't like discard a card to place empower and then take the empower action, could I?
You can.
That's explicitly how you would take empower if you didn't have it unlocked yet.
Okay.
Or similarly, if you started like this or something, you know.
Alternatively, I can place a card using invoke. I feel like there was a third thing that I have to discard cards for, and I'm struggling to remember what it was.
You just have to show cards unless you spend on that upgrade.
We'll go, let's not confuse them.
Quelling requires you to reveal matching cards, is the basic answer.
Okay. All right, that's fair. So those, and then willpower is basically all actions require it.
Yeah. Willpower is your basic
And
resource.
Essence would just be when I'm trying to power up any of my cards.
As a first,
and when you invoke, unless you pay for that upgrade, which not everybody has.
When you, basically the first time you play is the first time you'll probably find yourself low on essence a lot, because it's like something that's hard to remember to get. Now, when you do intention points, one thing, Guerric, as you gain intention points, you do get, when you cover up, you do get free stuff.
Good point. That's the thing I forgot to mention.
Another way to get free stuff.
Yeah. So
do we as a team have the same?
Yep. You and Bliss. That is. Oh, that you and Tristan, or whenever you all do stuff, it just adds to the same point.
So each of us, for instance, when this goes here, we each get an essence.
Whoever moved it to this spot will get the essence.
No, sorry.
Similarly, whoever moved it here gets the card. Ambition is shared though, so whoever moves it here flips an ambition. That works for either of you.
Oh.
Otherwise, you cannot share resources. Like you can't say, "Oh, Tristan needs 2 willpower. Here's 2 willpower."
Yeah, that's a good thing to mention.
Yeah, ambition is the only shared resource.
Mm.
So a lot of times at the end of your turn, you'll be like, "Hey, do you think you need an ambition token next turn, or can I draw 2 cards?" So you can kind of discuss. And this game is total open discussion. You can discuss as much as you want in private or in public. Oh, there's one more thing I forgot.
Yeah.
Just in case you don't get, awestruck by this, if somebody hits 20, the game immediately ends at the end of their turn.
Yep.
Okay.
That is one of the game end conditions.
Also, at the end of your turn, there's like a Dune charity mechanic. If you have no money, you get $1. And you can either flip an ambition or draw 2 cards.
Yep.
Okay.
So
it seems like ambition is probably the most tight resource.
For sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is probably a good time. Let's just, while it's fresh in your mind, I'm going to go over your upgrades real quick.
Okay.
So this one allows you to move 3 spaces. This one allows you to move where gloom is. This gives you a discount, obviously. This one allows you to draw a card every time you invoke. This one allows you to add your essence from the supply. So if you're just constantly low on essence, you could just pay a little bit extra and just use it from the supply. Discount, obviously. This one allows you to quell 2 essence off in 1 action, but you can see it's very expensive. This one means you do not have to have the color of the card. In fact, you don't have to have any card. So when you quell, you don't have to have any cards in your hand. You just quell automatically. This one is, I think, if you quell the card off the board, you get a draw card. This one is pretty handy. This one remember we told you can only add the fortress during a revelation. This one Harmony can do it mid-game. So you could put a fortress on the board, and then next turn add it right to the middle.
You should maybe mention that the fortifies are not straight upgrades; they are alternate versions, alternate actions. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. True.
So
Yeah.
You pay that, but you don't do that. You pay that on top, and then you do this instead.
As like an alternate version of fortify.
So in this case, I'm putting it in the middle. I'm not putting it on.
Correct.
Well, no. Well, it's already on the board technically, so you'd already have it here, and then you would pay 3 because you always have to pay the base action, and then you would pay 1 more and an ambition to move it on the board. It's already on the board. Or sorry, move it to the middle, so it's already on the board. Fortify is a little confusing because these are different actions.
The word you're looking for
really
is stupid,
technically
Focus.
Upgrades, huh?
The word you're looking for is stupid, Focus.
Oh. This one allows you to take a gloom fortress off the board, and it gives you a bonus action when you do it. So it basically is free. So it's encouraging you to get those off the board. And then Empower. The Empower allows you to, this one allows you to, as you're taking the Empower action, allows you to get the essence that's required to empower it from the supply. Meaning, like, if you had this one right here, and you're like, okay, I want to empower him, but I don't have the essence. He's not quite to the empowered level. You could use this upgrade to get it to the empowered level for free, and then empower it essentially.
So I was actually just gonna ask, remind me again how you normally add essence to a card?
This one right here.
Yeah, do not forget the realm actions. They are half the game.
And this one is something. I'm not even sure. Let me look real quick. Yeah, I was proud that I got almost all of them right.
Looks like.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Before empowering an emotion, you may pay this cost to pick up your spirit figure and place it on the spirit space adjacent to that emotion, even if that space is occupied by an opposing spirit. So essentially, you could teleport to the emotion you're trying to go to, or empower.
So that's the anywhere action that most people have.
But instead, you teleport to it.
Instead, you teleport to it.
That makes sense.
Right. So if you're empowering this guy and you're way over here, you're like, well, I don't want to spend a move there. I'll just pay,
1
4
willpower
total.
And
then just teleport there and then do the action. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, which makes sense given you have to pay to move anyways.
Yep. And I think that's pretty much it. So let's explain. So we told you. So the basic how the game is going to play is Lily. We already did turn order. Lily's going to go first, and it's going to alternate between gloom, then bliss, then balance. Balance always goes third. So it'll basically be Lily, then Tristan, then Guerric, then Brian, then you, then me, and then it's just going to keep going like that for until the game's over.
Oh.
I mean, in this three-way game, you're essentially battling. We're all battling each other essentially, but it's just the game is kind of like a tug of war style game where you're just trying to you're trying to obviously complete the public objective and your objective. But meanwhile, Garrick and I are we have our own objective that's different. We don't battle for the public objective. We can't score it. We can try to prevent you two from scoring it by making sure y'all are tied so no one gets it. Or we could say, like, all right, Bliss is losing, so we'll help Bliss out. So how we work is when we put emotions on the board, our emotions are all kind of look the same, but we decide who to put them on the board for. So when we put this on the board, we say this is going to be Bliss. So you'll kind of see as the game goes, but we're just basically doing our own thing, either helping you or helping them, which is mostly helping us ourselves. Now, if we have a gloom emotion or a bliss emotion on the board, you can still quell this off the board. You can't quell your own bliss emotions off because there's no reason to, but you can quell this off because obviously we put it here for a reason. It's not necessary to help you. It's probably because it's going to score points for us somehow. So you can get this off if you want to. That's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I was just going to mention how the other game end condition is if we go through all of these objectives. After that, the game will also end.
6 rounds.
Yeah.
And this game can be very snowbally because how you take these out, like if we're taking just a little bit from each one every time, and all of a sudden they all have like 2 or 3 left, you could literally we could end a round and then the next turn another round ends and then the next turn another round. I mean, it could really go fast. Or it could be where we're all coming from the same one. Oh, they do refill. I don't think we mentioned that.
Oh,
Once
yeah.
it gets down to 0, it goes back up to 8. So again,
but depending on the board state, it may be worth it to start looking at what the stuff coming up might be.
Yeah, it is absolutely worth it sometimes to playing for like the next objective or the one after it or something.
Yeah, because you might be a situation where you're like, all right, they're just too good on this. We're never gonna get that. So let's just start making these really good.
Yeah, and you said that the person, if you only score 1, you can move them around, or is it only if you don't
after a scoring, whoever has the fewest victory points of the 3 teams will get to rearrange one card to a different spot.
Okay.
Oh, and if you scored 0 entirely, you get to pick. You choose 3 aspirations and pick one. So you can pick one you're really good at. All right, so I think we can at least start setting up on the board, and we'll go from there. So how we set up is Lily will set up first. She'll place her character on any frontier spot, meaning one of these middle spots, and she'll put her basic emotion on any of the realm spots that is adjacent to where she's at. So she's going to start there. The essence that you put on this one is free from the supply, and then we kind of as they go, we'll gain control. So they control these 2 now. And now Tristan will place, and he could literally just place here and place here to block this if he wanted to.
The objective though.
Yeah, the first one we're playing for is realms.
Yep.
Oh wait, real quick, do we need to decide our vibe tokens before?
Oh yeah, you should. That's a good point. Everyone, so Alan, you have 4 of these wild vibes. They could be put on anything you want, but you obviously have to at least if you can't just throw this on that.
Yeah,
you have to but you could just make yourself like a super mover and invoker. You could make yourself like a super queller and mover. You could do whatever you want. It's very
right.
So
I mean,
I've typically found it's good to specialize on 2 actions, but since you're Harmony, you've got some more leeway to do what you want.
Yeah. Well, I'm just considering, so like quell, if like this that lets me quell 2 things off requires 2 of the ambitions to do it, feels like that's heavily investing in a resource that's hard to get.
This is 100% accurate.
Yeah, also, I think that was explained a little off to you. This is 2 additional for a total of 3. Just
Good
like
point.
this is 2 additional for a
Oh,
total of
okay.
3.
That is a significant bonus, but it's still pretty difficult to achieve, I think. So what are the you can get ambition when you would draw cards.
Focus, are you looking at the wrong board?
Instead of drawing cards, and then
Oops.
you get ambition
Shut up.
if you pull from commitment with the.
Yep. At a cost of
Whatever this
1
is.
to flip it.
Yep.
That one's not
Also,
free. Very important.
when you hit 6 points and 16 points,
Those ones are free.
and then maybe some stuff on your cards or your board might have it, but like empathy can pay extra when they're invoking to get ambition, for instance.
Right. Are we rolling into the game, or are we?
Yep, we are rolling into the game. I don't think we messed anything up so much that we need to
Nope.
reload, so I think we're good to just.
Oh yeah, we don't need to reload.
Yeah.
Here's our. I put our
These-
secret here, Guerric.
Okay.
Should these be visible?
They should. They are face up.
Your top is face up. Yep. So you
Okay.
know, like, oh, that's a good card to grab.
But
I wish I knew
we did.
anything about these cards.
We did play with your deck throughout the setup, so if you want to shuffle that, that's fine.
Sure. Oh, the top one remains the same. Oh, nope. Okay, well, there.
You're good.
I still don't know the cards, so I'm not.
It's fine.
Optimism is a piece of shit.
Where are the rest of the
No.
realm control tokens?
Optimism's really good. I'm always.
Realm control's over in the corner over here, Tristan.
Thank you.
Optimism's a very strong card.
Oh, Guerric, you're up for placement.
Okay, hold on. I've got to think about my actions real quick. Got to read them actually.
I have cards in my hand that I can't find. Oh, there they are.
Oh, and as we go through the turns, we can help Alan out by, like, Lily can explain what Malice's special power is, etc.
Yeah, yeah.
Not, you don't need to go through your upgrades, but at least say what your base bonus is.
All right, what do I do? Weird.
Also, Guerric, I haven't seen Misery played much. Like, if I were standing here with control of both frontiers and chose to suck from this spot, would I still pull 4 out?
I believe so. I think it just cares about where you are, not where the pool is.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna read it just to be sure. I know.
Yeah, go ahead and double check that, but I'm like 80% sure that's right.
Oh, I don't know anything, and I'm sure
it won't add the fortress. You can't add a fortress that way. That's the only
okay.
thing.
That's good to know.
So I have to not use my special power if I want to add a fortress.
Correct.
I'm gonna do that. And sure, we'll just go for that. And then I will set up
can set up on their spots if you want to.
Yeah, I don't know
one
if
of
I
them
have
you're gonna have to. So
I don't know if I have a plan yet.
plan. There's plans.
You don't plan in this game.
Yeah, Tristan, I'm sorry, bud.
All right. I have got some plans going in Team Chat, by the way. You should look over to that and check it out.
Probably.
Dude, this about halfway through, it'll click.
Yeah,
Or maybe
don't
sooner.
worry too much.
Wait, Team Chat, what's that?
Go to the chat box and click on the icon. You'll see
Oh.
global game and team, and you can chat just with your heart teammate there.
Okay.
Hopefully we won't have to sometimes we disappear into another chat room entirely for 20
Yeah,
minutes.
if we have too much planning.
hopefully we'll keep the stream entertaining tonight, not just disappear for 20 minutes.
Don't make promises you can't keep, Fugless.
We can be entertaining completely off topic.
Fugless, do you have any preferences? Because I'm not seeing.
I don't. We're winging it again.
All right, I'm just gonna start in here. No, I can't. I gotta start. Yep. I'm
on
in
a
here.
frontier.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, Brian.
So I'm gonna start right here.
Oh, I have a stupid question. Can I interact with my partner's cards? So, like, can I add?
Yes. You
stuff
cannot.
to it or
You
empower
can't
them?
interact with their hand or their deck,
But you can
once
interact
it's
with the map.
on the board, you can interact with that card.
Yeah.
Yeah, your cards have no significance on the differences on the board than in your hand. What they said.
Right. So
once on their board, they're bliss cards. That's all that matters.
Okay, that feels relevant. I'm sorry, I still don't know what I'm doing, and
No,
I'm
you're
still
fine.
kind of deciding where my stuff goes.
You're totally fine.
Luckily, you have 2 options, so that helps.
Yeah, you can starting position. You can only start here or here.
And you will place your brightness not in the space adjacent to you, but in one of the other 2 during setup for whatever reason.
Okay, so my misery. Why is this not?
You're right. That should be controlled.
Okay.
Sorry,
the
well,
start
honestly,
of the game will generally.
Yeah, I was gonna update after setup, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, it's either 2 and 2 or one of the spots is neutral, and it's 1 and 1 from there.
All right. So, and then I put brightness out.
Yep.
And you get this from the supply, and then this becomes you.
I got the frontier.
That becomes you, and then I'll place, and I'll just here, and we officially start the game.
Oh, and Lily can't absorb on the first turn, but she starts with 2 extra dollars.
Overthinking.
So Lily has malice. Lily's ability is she can quell one away adjacent to her, so she doesn't have to be exactly adjacent to quell. She can where is she anyways? Here?
I'm over here.
Yeah, she can quell these 2 spots from that spot. Or if she's here, she could quell basically 4 different things. She's a super queller.
Yeah,
Empathy's
the
like her counter.
annoying thing is that she can't quell anything on turn 1 unless she can score 6 points somehow.
And that's pretty hard without being able to absorb.
Yeah, Lily, I asked you a rules question there.
All right, I don't know if this is right, but I'm gonna stick with it.
There's no right, really. As you play the game, you'll, you know.
Oh.
And so it begins.
They're already discussing.
The analysis paralysis.
It's too early.
Actually, wait, does wait.
Oh yeah, what's our secret objective? That's right.
Too early for deep conversation.
It would.
Oh, so it does stack? Huzzah!
I think it does stack, yeah. I just gotta figure out what I have to remember what our goals are real quick. Okay, got that one, and then we're realm control right now.
Move.
Are you talking, Lily?
Yeah, I am. Am I really quiet?
You just weren't getting picked up by your mic or something?
I need to adjust this thing. It's been giving me some trouble lately. Alright, so yeah, I moved. I'm then going to spend 1 willpower to evoke some guilt. Best card. Everyone should feel guilty all the time.
Oh god. Guilt is so bliss every time.
All the guilt.
So bliss every time you
play a card,
invoke a card onto the board, they get a free willpower.
But it's only one of the 2 Gloom players, right? It's not both of them.
It's the person who played it. So this would trigger for me.
Got it.
As far as I can understand from the card, because
it says we get to pick the
choose a spirit.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Wait.
All right.
I think there's going to be a lot of me not knowing anything.
Oh, it's not every bliss emotion. It's only when you put a win played emotion in play.
Oh, that's right. That's why it's got the win played symbol. Okay, that's a lot better.
I'm gonna then spend another willpower to invoke again.
Damn.
That's some embarrassment. Feels like all of my emotions wrapped into one right here. Like guilt and embarrassment. Just perfectly describing me.
If y'all quell away one of our cards, we get a willpower.
Just going willpower crazy over here.
When any card leaves the board, they get a free willpower.
All right, and that will be my turn. I am going to. I think I want to draw cards if that's cool with you, Brian.
I mean, my only issue is I'm considering quelling turn 1. But
not your thing. That's my thing.
Nah, you go ahead and draw, and I'll probably draw as well.
Okay, that's fine. All right, and that will be it for me.
Nah, your first term guilt. It's like, oh, do I want to like not do my turn now because you got the guilt down, and like you're gonna get your willpower of this. But if I don't do my turn, then I'm giving you several rounds, and nah, gotta do it. Spend it on something nice, okay?
Well, don't worry.
All right. I'm going to start by immediately absorbing out of creativity to get 3 willpower and sociability, which I'm just going to then immediately smack down right there. So,
rotated the board for you.
Thank you. So that's one thing, one action. Then moving here.
Hold on.
Did you pay for invoking?
I think sociability might have a win played ability. I think it
Yeah,
does.
it does.
Oh, it does.
So they get a free willpower. Sociability says, let's be friends. When you put it into play and there's another bliss emotion there, it gets +1. So, yep.
You can take the willpower if you can use it, Brian. If not, just give it.
All right, cool.
So that's running one to move. So I wasn't too much. Okay, started with 4, got 3, spent 1 to invoke, and then 1 to move. All right, cool.
Flip this realm control.
Yep, it does.
To nobody controls it.
Yep, it's neutral.
Nope.
Oh,
no,
+1.
it's
Plus
Yep.
1. You're totally right.
Then I'm going to.
So that's actually 2 actions for you, isn't it? Because you invoked and you moved.
Yep. And then I'm just making sure I've spent all this money correctly because this feels so cool that I can do this. Alrighty. Yep. Okay. I'm going to spend confidence.
That sums up my life.
There you go. Yep. To
Jealous you
upgrade.
Have it to spend.
Upgrade invoke with this. Then invoke affection, which is another. Actually, no, it's not an on-play effect. Ha!
It is not a one-plate effect.
You get nothing from me. And then spending. So it's going to be 4 willpower for that because I'm also flipping an ambition.
Nice.
Using empathy's ability there, which is so cool.
So affection says this emotion wants a little attention when you move or intensify it. That's right. It gets +1. So
I remember.
He gets moved by the this network of thoughts. He just gets stronger and stronger.
Or if you take Land of Desires to strengthen it, it will get.
If you add 1.
Yeah.
All right. Then I'm going to draw 2 cards in my turn, or do I want to? Yeah, I should. I mean, best of both worlds.
You get a pity dollar.
No, I've got one here.
Okay.
I pre-got the pity dollar.
My, they had such cool turns, Fugless.
They did. What do we do?
Panic.
It's cool. I have no idea what the hell just happened.
Well, do you have 2 turns to?
You discarded a card to get
upgrade. So yeah, I invoked a card down here, and the special card's ability was that it gets a +1 if there's friends nearby.
Yeah.
Technical terminology there. And then I moved. Then I invoked another ability, but I discarded a card first to unlock a upgrade on my invoke, which allows me to flip one of our ambition whenever I place down cards. So I can generate a bunch of ambition for us and go around invoking things, which will give them willpower, I know, but yeah.
Fine. Cool. All right.
Yeah,
sounds good.
But yeah, the reason that they get willpower from me invoking, us invoking cards is whenever we invoke a card with an on-power effect, guilt gives them, guilt gives them willpower.
Okay.
I mean, you could just. I mean, as in your first game, because it is overwhelming, you should just. Your goal should be trying to win this and trying to win this. Like bothering with trying to stop Gloom from doing certain things. That's gonna be more than on the first game. So you should just be like, all right, we're gonna win
box
this.
you guys built.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, Guerric.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I have pretty much one strategy right now, so
that's good. I mean, that's fine. I mean, Guerric and I had one strategy last game, and we got to a 18 to 13 to 6 point lead, and we would have won and then we didn't score but like 1 more point for the rest of the game, so it worked great.
We'll see how much Tristan's annoyed with me for what I do. I don't know.
I don't typically hear that much.
I mean, you can talk to him about it in team chat too if you want to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guerric's up, so you have a while to.
Yeah, you got like an hour. Do that.
Don't forget your realm actions are cheaper.
Yeah.
In case you need them.
Yeah. Blurg.
Blurg indeed.
All right. First action is going to be to move to here.
Mm-hmm.
Second action, I'm going to absorb, or free action, I suppose. Getting 2 from here.
Let me pause here for 1 second. Alan, we didn't explain this, but just for informational purposes, because we can't control frontiers as balance, because we don't control anything, it's just bliss and gloom. The way we get more out of the middle is if we have if any of our emotions are in the triad, then we get 1. So if we have any emotion in any position of the triad, we get an extra 1. So that's how we could get 4 if we have emotions. Anyway, carry on.
Anyway, I get a vibe, and the board rotates. That's
Where you vibing?
We're gonna vibe invoke.
Invoke anywhere.
Yeah.
Dope.
And then second action is going to be invoke. Gonna pay 3. And we are going to invoke neutrality over here with a bliss essence.
Hold on.
What's up?
Well, first of all, go to team chat a second.
Oh, hold on.
Also, you didn't move.
I can do it anywhere with the
there.
upgrade.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
1 second. Just typing.
No.
Okay. All right. Focus has appealed to my better judgment. We're going here.
This is tied now.
As is this.
Yep.
And we're going to invoke again.
You can afford it? Dope.
Yeah.
Nice move.
Well, I don't technically have to do anywhere. I am adjacent to a spot. So that's what I'm just debating right now. I do think I want to teleport it.
Are all of your cards the same?
No, so we don't have powers on our cards. Our cards give us things when they're removed, either by us empowering them or y'all quelling them.
Yeah.
So they don't do anything for us initially. But and how we empower, each card can be empowered at any level, but however much essence is on it is kind of the corresponding empowerment card.
Yeah.
And a lot of our powered cards have kind of crazy abilities. It's not worth going through all of them probably.
But they all do have 3 slots and the 1, 2, 3 and a non-removal ability. Okay, those are my
That's tied now.
Yes.
And this is
Not tied. Not
no,
tied.
it's not.
Nope.
I would like an ambition, please. I know you don't have any cards.
Yeah, you sure? You definitely need it? Because I'll do it for you.
I can probably figure out a way around it. Go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll draw 2 cards.
So, this is completely non-relevant, but I've decided that the one thing I don't like about the intuition and reason cards is that their aesthetic is very similar to Gloom. In my brain, I love them, but they're just like pointy and gloomy looking to me.
Yeah. Man, why couldn't y'all have sucked more stuff out so far so that I can trigger a revelation already? So, do I want to make it really easy for them to trigger one?
Correct question. Answer is probably yes.
I mean, it is a point, and you know how I feel about scoring points.
Points are
So,
the most important thing in the game.
I'm going to spend 2 to invoke loneliness right here. Then I'll spend 1 to move to this realm spot. And now we have 2, so we have control here.
Yep.
Then I'll pay another 2 to put a second guilt out.
All the guilt. Don't know how this works, but all the guilt.
And now we control this frontier. Because we have 2 to your 1.
So what was the decision? So both players get the willpower from guilt?
They can choose.
We can choose.
Oh, okay.
But
Well,
now
there's
we're
2
curious if
copies
this
now.
stacks now, though. That's something we're
that is
debating.
That is a good question. That's never come up before.
I mean, I would think they both trigger individually.
I would think so.
Yeah, I would think so too.
We should play it like that.
So yeah, I'm gonna take 4 out of here and get a card.
Yep.
Which is 1 point. And unfortunately, my loneliness didn't proc. But
So wait, how did you take it from that spot?
His power is that he can suck at 1 extra range.
Sorry, we didn't go over that.
Yeah. And I also have various upgrades that let me suck from where I'm standing as I do other stuff. Okay, so I will give you ambition because I know how much you love to quell.
I do love to quell.
Did you rotate the board, Brian?
I did not click rotate. Now I did.
All right, Alan, you ready to take a turn?
I'll do my best. I don't know if the thing I wanted to do really makes any sense now.
Probably not, no.
The board state in a 6-player game changes so much by the time it's your turn that it's hard to plan too far ahead.
I think that's worse in the early game than in the late game. Or maybe the mid game's the most stable.
Yeah, early game is just everything gets spammed out and you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of part of the difficulty is I don't have good cards to play, to be frank with you. But I feel like if I don't play cards out, all the board slots will be taken up.
Yeah. So part of me wants to say, like, yeah, we should absolutely try and get the um the revelation happening, because I don't know, like, it feels like, so we've got like these two are pretty locked down for now. They'd have to like quell and then put a new one down and move over there to take one of them off of us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just kind of
really whoever's doing it.
trying to think this through. So if I were to
do better than that.
Find a way to draw a card to get optimism, I could drop optimism over here, maybe? And then we'd have 3, and then I find a way to draw from here to pop the objective. I just didn't quite set my board up for that, really.
Yeah. I mean, you are Harmony. You can redo your board quite quickly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And if you want to shuffle it up a little bit from the setup, like, I don't care. It's your first game. It's
No, it's fine. Like this is more me responding to the board state, so that's I don't need to.
Okay.
Or at least I shouldn't change. The problem is I need to move, so I can only place in this slot if I'm here, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
So I don't think so I'd have to move, invoke, move, and then do
the thing that
Well, yeah, you'd either have to move, quell, invoke, or move, invoke, move.
all that on only 4 willpower, which move, quelling, invoking would be. You couldn't do it.
Yeah, because I have to draw power as my last action, right?
No. You can absorb at any point during your turn.
Yep, it can be the
Yeah,
first,
but the problem
last,
is
or in between.
the problem is the location.
Yes.
Well, I suppose if I
mean, with $4, you can. Hang on. Yeah, you're this orange one, right? Yeah, you can move there, invoke, move there, and suck.
Yeah, for the record, this pool here has only 1 willpower in it, so it can trigger a revelation.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. At least it feels like it's what I should be doing.
Yeah, because I mean the public objective's tied. So if you have your private one, I mean, a worst case scenario, you got to.
So I think probably move here, quell this, then pull and then invoke, and that should get me enough, I think.
Keep in mind, if you pull from this one and trigger the revelation, you're only sucking 1 out of the pool. You're not going to get any additional because the pool will be empty. It'll be just the 1.
Oh, it's
I'm thinking don't try and trigger. Like, I just don't see a great way for. I mean,
yeah, I think maybe the better thing for me to do is just to make that harder to do by getting this spot pretty locked down. In which case, let me see here. Don't control this frontier because of this neutrality card. I'm sorry, guys. This will probably be a very AP ridden.
That's fine. This game is always AP ridden.
I think it gets better as you play.
It does. I'm just saying we always end up having long AP turns.
Yes, that's for sure.
The key thing is I still need to be able to draw a card, and if I'm not going from creativity, I need to find another way to draw a card.
The action limit of 3 in this game is like perfect.
Which
you
is
always
that
feel like
just
you need
Cradle of Senses is the main way?
To draw
That
cards?
and the indicate.
Yeah, drawing cards
Sorry.
is Cradle of Senses or the creativity origin spot. Or certain upgrades, like your invoke your first upgrade for invoke is to draw a card.
I don't want to do that, Tristan. It helps them literally almost as much as it helps me.
Sounds like you're already a
I
pro at this
know,
game.
but like, yeah.
Like this is what I'm saying. The 2 cards that I drew off the top are just not good right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably right. That's probably the best thing I can do. It's just annoying me.
Yeah. I mean, we own the Cradle of Senses. Sorry, so like drawing cards is cheap for us. So I'm definitely not averse to it.
It is an action, but I could draw the top card as a free action, right?
It costs an action. It just doesn't cost money.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So I
yeah.
I just do like optimism because it can't be taken away and it doesn't trigger guilt.
I mean, throwing down optimism there would be pretty nice.
That's what I'm thinking. At least
yeah. So to do that, you could draw it there, move, then invoke it here. Is absolutely a thing you can do.
Yeah. And then I guess I'm only drawing 2 willpower off of sucking, but fine, I can suck at sucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably my best option right now.
To save willpower, you could spend the 2 cards in hand that you don't want to use to like upgrade move as you go, and then upgrade invoke as you go. To that will only cost you 1 willpower to move. You don't actually want 1 willpower to move. So grab a card, move, and invoke. Hell, you could even with that low expenditure, I would probably even draw more cards on the Cradle and Senses. Like maybe blow like 2 cards to do 2 willpower on drawing 2 cards. Then moving, then invoking.
I think that's probably the way we do it.
Yep.
And I guess if I draw from commitment, I can flip. I could even spend a willpower to flip another ambition if that helps you.
Yeah, sure.
It also gives you a free
because
action.
I definitely don't need the wild off of knowledge. At least not really.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, yeah, so let's go with that as a plan.
All right, so I'll just do that to start. We'll just flip that. I'll get 2 additional.
Now, it does cost 1 willpower to use the flip there.
Right.
Is the other thing.
I think I will end up having enough willpower to do it, though.
Yeah, you will. I mean, it's just a letting you know thing.
Sure. So I pull 2, but then 1. Is there a discard somewhere for these?
Just like jump it into the infinite bag, so you can just delete it.
Okay. All right. So I flip an ambition.
Rotating.
Yep.
Okay. I will spend. I guess it's an action and 2 to draw 2 cards. Action and 2 willpower.
Yep.
I could go real crazy and do even more. I won't though.
You actually could do 1 more card if you wanted.
That was interesting.
Yep, double optimism.
So optimistic. Okay. I will then do an action. Discard cheerfulness. How do I drop something on the
Hold
bottom?
left
Hold
click.
down right click.
Hold right click. Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Now you have the power.
It's magic.
And it doesn't have to match, right? Like I can put down.
Nope.
Yeah.
Because you're
You
you.
and you could upgrade a second time if you want to.
No, not yet. Eventually. Anyways, we'll move here, and then I will. That was my second action, so this is my third action. Is going to be to invoke again. I will drop the other cheerfulness on the bottom of the deck because that was a terrible draw. To upgrade to make invoking Jeep. And I will place optimism here.
All right, so that flips the network to us.
And that only costs 1 willpower.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, shoot, maybe I should discard the last 2 to draw an extra card because I'm gonna get a free one at the end of the turn, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I didn't think anyone would jump to that
No,
recall.
no. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Focus always sounds like that. Don't mind him.
What?
You're like, yeah, it's fine.
Oh no, I meant it really is fine.
No, I know.
well, it does, I mean, it doesn't affect anything in my turn.
Yeah.
So.
Uh-oh, he's
think I
got
was
courage on top
drawing
of his deck.
I don't know what
Kill
courage
it!
does.
Kill it with the stick!
If you invoke him in an enemy frontier, you get a free action.
My friend who may or may not still be listening in chat got to play 2 courages on his very first turn last game we had.
Okay, well, should I get a free willpower at the end, and should I get 2 cards or flip the last ambition? Can you do anything with 3 ambitions?
Just draw more cards. we can't do things with 3 ambitions, but like just like you're so good with all those cards, because you can just do a ton of upgrades, get a bunch of intentions. I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay, sounds good.
And then don't forget to hit the end turn button.
Thank you.
Yep.
Alrighty. I think I do this.
Got a turn planned. There we go. I said it.
I believe so, except we should have given me this. Yeah.
At least you're near commitment.
Yeah, but I'd rather end it on our turn than let
That's fair.
the decision.
That's fair.
Okay, let me see if I can figure out how to do it without quelling. Oh, I know how to do it without quelling.
Ooh.
Oh wait, no I don't. I guess I can. Okay. Yep, we'll do it this way. At any time during my turn, Guerric, if you think I'm doing something stupid, just let me know.
1 second.
Right.
I'm just typing your message real quick pre-start.
Okay. Yep. I can type what I'm gonna do, like in the basic terms, if you want, or I could just say it.
You can't say it. That would reveal it.
Oh, this is you. Oh, that is me. Oh, I thought I was this one. Shit, I gotta move too. You're right. That is actually a better plan. You're right. That is a totally fair, better plan.
Happy to be here.
Oh wait, but it doesn't solve the problem though. Hold on, let me type again.
Well, if you put even more gloom here, can't we tie that up? If you raise that to a 3,
Well, I
then
mean,
we'll be
yeah.
tied.
I mean, yes, I'd rather no one get anything, but I gotta focus on the balance stuff.
Also, think of the meta game. It's Lily and
Oh.
Brian.
Shut up, Guerric.
What?
Alright.
What do you mean, shut up?
I'm just laughing because I screwed up. Alright. You know, the problem is, I guess it's not that big of a problem. Let's see. Let me make sure I have the actions for this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I guess I do. I'll be doing all realm actions. That's pretty neat. Okay, let's start off by taking 4. So I spin 1. I'm not Guerric's character, so I have to spin 1 to get 4. So I'll just take 3. But I'm only going to take 2 because I'm going to change 1 into a bliss essence because that is my power. So that was action 1. Action 2. Oh, I do have another action. Duh. Action 2, I will use the Land of Desires and spend 2 willpower to pop 2 more on my boy here for a point. And this becomes a bliss frontier.
But these remain gloom.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah.
I have one more action. Can't really do anything useful.
You can always take it after you absorb.
Let's just absorb now. So I'll absorb from here for 1 and draw a card. And I'll rotate.
And we triggered a revelation.
Now. Yep.
So everyone reveal your hidden aspiration. Ours
liveliness.
Rip.
Fairness, unfortunately.
Okay, so gloom or bliss won the public.
And I think we just gave them their hidden.
You did.
Nope. I mean, it wasn't intentional, but we got our. So
Good job,
they get
guys.
They get a major, but we get a major too. It was frontiers are tied, and we have 2 on frontier slots. 1 here and 1 here. So gloom. So then we reset this. So gloom, you get to move 1 around.
Oh, and you got us an aspiration when you got that guy, which gives you an essence.
No,
Oh, you're sorry. You
was
got it
my
already.
1 point.
You got it already. Yeah. I didn't see you done that.
So gloom, when you're ready, you can move 1 around.
We're thinking.
I know. I'm just making
so
sure.
Clearly, we should put liveliness. Yeah. No. We're thinking.
I might just take money, Guerric, and just have a shit ton of willpower next turn.
It's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally all I could do is move.
Or if you want to like purchase some essence in preparation, or
Yeah, but I'd rather just have a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna take 4, so I'll take 3 more.
That's fine.
Oh, but I'll take no, I'll take 2 more and an essence.
Oh yeah, you can convert it into essence when you do that. Yeah, God, your power is so cool.
I'll take another bliss just to make sure I have 1 of each.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, maybe we should take gloom. Oh, have we looked at let's look at our next thing. Hold on. This next thing could decide what I do. Interesting.
Was this start?
I'll just leave it at bliss. And then I will pass my turn. I think Team Gloom's still deciding.
Team Gloom is in a rough place. Leave us alone.
How about we just yeet that to the end?
It's not really gonna matter considering it's gonna get around no matter what. It's
I feel
really
like
just
the
deciding
board
what we want the
state
next one to be
shifts
is.
too quickly.
In a 6-player game, it does shift very quickly. Normally, you can play this game in a variety of ways. You could play just 2v2 Blisson versus Gloom. You could even play 1 player versus 1 player. You could control 1 spirit or 2 spirits.
I think it's probably best 2 or 3 player with the players controlling 2 spirits each. But the teams are cool.
Though. It is
It's
a lot.
It is a
lot,
lot.
though.
It is a lot. It melts your brain.
I have a lot of trouble with 2 control.
Yeah, most of my 2-player games are just controlling 1 spirit each.
The map just is so big with only 1 spirit each.
It is, and it is. Yeah, it's disappointing because it doesn't fill up as good, but the games are still really good. I think it's just a little different. It's just not as filled. But yeah, 2 spirits each is ideally, but it can be a little much.
Keep it the way it is if you're continuing with the plan we had before.
All right.
This one, I have no fucking clue what to do here. I'll suck.
Current objective is Unity.
Tristan, look in your next objective, Tristan.
Oh yeah.
To the...
More adjacent emotions.
Yep. So adjacency in this game does cross realms, meaning this right
now
here is adjacent.
3.
So yeah, this is tied for both teams because Gloom has these 3, and you have these 3.
Okay.
And it is now Lily's turn.
Lily's still panicking. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. So.
I'm pretty sure those 2 shuffle in, don't they?
Yeah, they shuffle in.
Okay.
So I'm going.
I think you're moving away from your mic, sweetie. You're.
Sorry, this mic has been giving me some trouble since I got back from Colorado. All right, I'm gonna move. So I'm gonna upgrade it using that one. That. Oh crap.
So that would be 2 move actions.
That's okay.
If you want to do it that way.
I think I kind of have to.
You could move 2 to here and quell that.
Good, but it's not
obviously
really what we're
not
going
as
for.
good.
Yeah, I think it's fine. It's gonna be a little slower, but I think it's okay in the end.
Okay.
I really wish I could. Oh wait,
and
actually,
we
I'm
don't want to suck 4, do we?
I can't. We can't. We don't have realm control for that.
Oh right, yeah.
But actually, I'm going to do my absorb now from this one.
Rotating.
I grab a card. And getting another point. All the things.
Take an essence. Did you get an essence? You get an essence.
Yeah, I'm normally not the one scoring points, so my brain doesn't understand these things. Okay. Unless that was the wrong decision, Brian. In which case,
no, I like it. You
okay. I'm
end
gonna
up moving there, kicking him back to there.
Move, and then because of my special power, I can move empathy with this upgrade here.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm able to...
sociability can F right off.
It could.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all 3 of these can F right off.
Well, only 2 of them can.
Yeah, you can't F this one off.
That's fair. I can only. I mean, all of them can F off. I just don't. I can't. I didn't say I can do it. I just think they all could.
Yes. The Fuel action.
Oh, hold up.
Oh, you got a card, so?
You're out of cards.
Oh shit! Okay, I didn't do this one. Then that's fine. Because that would have.
Where? Give yourself back that red card.
How do I get the card off the bottom? Thank you. Okay. I knew there was a reason I was keeping hostility. I had this planned out, but my brain is dumb. Okay.
So quelling sociability.
Yeah, if that's what. Oh, then yeah, that's the one I'm calling apparently.
Yeah, I mean it interrupts them
sense.
just so they can put it right back.
So we'll do that.
So that'll give you the point.
That'll give me 2 more points.
No, you lost your
just the
upgrade point.
one.
Oh, I lost my upgrade. Yeah, that gives us the point.
Double move.
Right. Gross. Okay. That'll be my last action, and I'm going to redo the ambition token.
All right. Let me just work this out.
The mantra of every turn in this game ever.
So you guys can't control Lander's eyes and low values. That's anywhere I can trigger revelation. Nope.
Oh, Guerric, you know something cool I want to do between sessions?
What's that?
Is add descriptions to all the cards that say what the hell they do.
That would be smart, actually.
A lot of work, but smart.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only, 128 plus all the balance ones.
It's not that bad actually once you get started, and because you have
Oh, right, it's
text
cut
right
in
there.
half from there too, because I can just do it to one deck, half a deck, and then copy it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Now, Valley of Motives is now flipped, isn't it? Okay, so
Yeah, it's even.
I was gonna tell Mind Clash about our stream, but then I'm like, okay, we actually made part of this. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I forgot to tag them. I usually tag them on Twitter. Not that they've ever responded.
They know me.
okay.
I stalked them.
Oh.
I'm going to first action. I'm going to Valley of Motives. So I'm just going to gain a net 2 willpower. Then I'm going to
wait, why only 2?
Net 3. Sorry, net 3. Yes, right.
There you go.
Even better. I don't know where my head went on that. It's more of that crazy math numbers. All right.
All good.
Then I'm going to spend one of those new fancy willpowers to move here. I'm going to then absorb 3 from somewhere. Do I want more cards? Do I want more? What's affection do again? Move or intensify it. All right, cool. Actually,
what is the empathy power?
Whenever you move or intensify it, gets
the empathy power is that we can't quell stuff that he's standing next to or within another from that.
Okay.
That's why Lily had to move me out the way there.
Yeah.
So I've got 3. I've done 2 actions so far. So yeah, I'm gonna focus on setting you up for a good turn again. Yep. So I'm going to absorb 3 from it's commitment. Then spend 1 of those to flip an ambition. I'm then going to for my third action, I'm going to convert. Let's see. I don't only have 2 left. So 5 left. Sorry. I started with 1, gained 3, spent 1,
And
gained
then
3 again.
rotate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, rotate. Thank you. For that.
Oh, I think I'm DC.
Oh.
Yeah,
We
that was.
rotated.
Sorry, I was lagging. Should be
The
hit
3
3
should
more
be
times.
there. Yeah. There you go.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, is that
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Yes, because I had the
Yeah,
option
that's right.
either a new
Yeah, because
card
creativity
or.
was here when I triggered it. Good.
Yep. Okay. Okay. I just feel like I should have another empathy power along the way, but I guess not. Yeah, I guess not.
Well, hold on. You said you started your turn with 1.
Yep, 1. Then gained 3 more.
Then action 2.
Then
pulled
spent
from...
1. Then gained 3 more. And spent 1 to. So I think so. I should have 1 more then. Hang on, what's that? All right. Sorry, guys. I hate to do this, but
It's okay.
spent
Good.
gained 1, gained 3 more, spent 1 to move, gained 3 more, then spent 1. All right, I'm good. I'm good. Yep. Sorry, guys. So therefore, if I spend, let's do 2, 4. All right. Okay. Yep. So I'm gonna. All right, cool. So I'm going to spend 3 to convert 2 of those into essence. Where's my essence gone? Well, there's 1 essence there. Where's my essence? Am I missing? Oh, there it is. Thank you. All right, so 2 of the essence. So that's and then spending 2 ambition tokens, get a 4th action. To then invoke sociability.
He's back.
Crazy. I never
Yeah,
was
and
expecting
the
it.
worst part is that even if she pushes you, oh, she can push
I can
you
push him over here.
there. Yeah.
Oh, it's just 1, right? $1.
Yep, 1. Yeah, just 1 willpower to invoke sociability there. Or instead, do I? Yeah, no, I wouldn't have enough to.
So what is the ability that Lily is doing to push?
Right here.
So it's a special ability for me on my move board.
Oh, neat.
All right. And while I'm doing that, actually, no, I won't do another right now. Go ahead. I draw 2 cards in my turn, and then pass it along.
Okay. Goals have more adjacent emotions. Y'all are both tied again.
Oh, hold on, Guerric.
I'm holding on. I haven't done anything. This is true. This is true.
I mean, if you wanted to.
I've considered that. I mean, what do you think?
I think we'll still get a minor by the time we got to my turn, but I just don't think a major is going to happen. It'd be tough.
It sounds like it might be worth it then.
Yeah, but the fact that the adjacency is tied right now is really good for us because that means neither of them are scoring majors.
No, that's what I mean. I think it may be
them,
worth it to trigger.
I agree. That was my point entirely too. I mean, it feels like his balance is, if they're ever balanced up there, we should go for it. Because if either of them aren't getting theirs, then that's even more beneficial to us. So yes, I say go for it, plus do whatever else on your turn you feel like you can. If you can get some attention points, then even better. And the one you're pulling from will give you an intention point just itself if you put it on invoke. So
yes, but I do have to invoke before I can sucky suck.
God, every time somebody says suck, I literally forget what it is actually called. No one's helping me out. All right, cool.
It's absorb.
It's the sucky suck.
Oh no.
Oh, and that was a win played.
Oh yeah.
Oh yep. Y'all get your stuff.
Free thing.
Damn, I was hoping you forget that.
After all, why not?
What does loneliness do?
Loneliness.
But yeah, I don't think I can trigger it high enough. So do you want to split it?
You should have gotten an extra one from embarrassment too.
Loneliness, if it's the only gloom in the triad, it gets a +1. So it's like it's the opposite of sociability. Sociability wants to be with bliss. Loneliness, if it's the only gloom one, then it gets both.
Well, they both want to be with bliss, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Lily, how many of the 3 that we get do you want?
I'll take whatever you don't need, man. I will always gladly take stuff because
stuff is good.
You can use it.
This one.
I mean, sounds like you're gonna be tight on cash, so I would say go ahead and take it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna use it pretty damn hard.
All right, then go for it.
Oh yeah, but we need. Yeah, you just remembered embarrassments thing. So yeah.
That was our bad.
What are you thinking?
Trying to math it out. 5.
It's a big word.
Math?
No, thinking.
5, 4, 2, 3. Yeah, it doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Oh yeah, I guess to actually trigger it, you're gonna have to toss something down.
Right. That's the one issue, and it really limits me. It's okay. Yeah. All right. Action 1. We're taking Valley of Motives.
And it's free for you, so you just get 4.
Action 2, we're taking Willow of Values. We're getting one of you. I think we'll just go ahead and get one more of each just to be safe. Thank you, Fugless. Third action is to invoke at a cost of 1. Let's throw down this guy. Make it a bliss.
Y'all hate us.
It doesn't change anything.
Yeah, it doesn't change anything.
That hurts. That hurts.
And I will absorb
Adequately hurts.
from here, all 3, triggering a revelation.
Where you've been your upgrade, are you gonna get the point?
I am not. I'm going to save it for a future turn.
Okay. So let me get out 8. All right, so the public is tied 3-3. Guerric and I got half of ours. We needed to be fortresses to be tied, which it is at 0-0, and we needed to have 2 of our own fortresses on the board, which we don't. So we got a minor.
Yeah, and I thought I was going to get a turn to get a 4 intensity emotion out, but no.
And then how did you do on your...
Frontiers are tied, so we didn't get it.
Oh, see, perfect, Guerric.
Nice!
Did poorly.
All right. So Gloom, you get to move another one around when you're ready.
Yeah, let's. I want to panic first. Leave me to panicking.
Yeah, that worked out nicely, Fuglis.
That did work out very nice. Yeah, I was like, we could wait till my turn and I have enough money to pop 2 fortresses on the board, but I don't think it's not gonna last that long.
How much do you need in ambition?
So do we need
Oh yeah, let's look at the next one real quick.
Oh, yeah.
take 3 and pick 1 since we
Yes.
didn't get any?
Yep.
Okay.
Check out the next one, Guerric. Pretty good.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
I mean, you can take cards again. It doesn't bother me.
I would prefer that.
Yeah.
I'll message you. All right.
Okay.
I'll let y'all finish.
Thinking
All
the
right,
one left.
we'll move this to the front.
Hey,
I think, Guerric, your turn's totally done, right?
Yep, I was letting them finish their thing.
what about here?
So you shuffle the other 2 in, or do you put the other 2 back on the bottom?
You shuffle them
Shuffle.
Neutrality is just screwing us over by helping out Bliss so much.
in. That's what we do.
Yes,
We're
you pick a side. I understand.
We're not helping them, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, we're literally balancing.
You're majorly helping them. What are you talking about? You put this giant ass thing over here, and you keep putting stuff out for Bliss.
This is only because we needed Frontiers to be tied, so we had to get this back to Bliss control. It was the only way to do it.
All I hear is excuses.
We put out one of your guys, little guy here.
All I hear, yeah, he's not doing jack shit. At least this one gives some Frontier control. I think I'm more annoyed about the other facts. I'm just like, y'all are just helping them. That's all I see.
I mean, they didn't get anything from this revelation.
Yeah, we still didn't get anything.
We still didn't get anything.
It's only been 2 weeks since you and Brian, as balance, board wiped Guerric and I.
This is true.
At least you guys were scoring points before we decided to do that.
Well, fair enough.
I mean, really, whichever of those it is, we're not getting it. So which one do you think we can get later?
Let's keep this one in then. Because
I
we can't get
say,
any of these.
As empathy, I feel your pain.
No, you don't.
As your opponent,
Harmony. as Harmony, I don't know. The salt is making me sad.
I get real salty. It's okay. Like, it's past midnight, so I'm already turning into, like, my grumpy mode. So I'm just gonna start throwing shade everywhere. Also,
okay.
I've been watching a reality
Tristan.
show that's all about shade, and that's not helping my life.
What reality show?
Tristan, just really quick, when you invoked Sociability. Did you spend the
No, I didn't have the
extra?
willpower for it.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 2 to get 2 essence.
You can't.
Then
That's only one per turn action, Brian.
No, you can turn as
Yeah,
many.
it's as many as you want.
Oh, as many?
it's
Yeah.
one trigger and then any number.
I wish they had a symbol for that because I was thinking I couldn't do that this entire frickin' time.
All right,
hate
then
this
I'm going
game.
to spend another 2 to max that track out. The Brian Point train is
Starting.
starting along. Choo choo.
So that's 1
Yes,
point.
that's your second action.
1 point.
Make sure you spend your willpower for that.
I
there a
did.
pencil?
So yeah, that was the 1 point.
Mhm.
Now I'm going
Thank you,
to
Tristan. I appreciate this.
get another 2 points to upgrade this so that I can. Well, first off, I'm going to use the ambition to rotate the origin board, and then I'm going to do that. So there's my hatred vibe. So I am now able to suck from here 1 without rotating because it needed to be adjacent to me. And I turn guilt.
Oh, I see.
Spending 3. I empower guilt into whatever guilt becomes, and then Lily, you can get $1 from embarrassment.
Remorse.
What does guilt? Like, I know you said remorse. What does that do?
They're gonna get way more free shit.
I like free shit.
No, now y'all don't even get to trigger the
Oh
Limb
my
Plague ability.
god! Dang it.
And I'm intensity 4, which is higher than 3, and then I suck 4 from here.
And trigger a revelation.
Oh,
which
God.
gives
Nice
another
move.
2 points and a card.
Nice move.
Hang on. Also, while doing that, I'm going to get another vibe for another 2 points.
Yup. I love it.
Wait, how'd you get
Wait,
the
yeah,
other
how'd you
vibe?
get the vibe?
That. Oh, right.
It should be
It has to
yellow.
be a yellow.
Yeah, this still allows it.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, as
'cause
part of
he
the
used-
empower. Okay.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just your ordinary 6-point turn so far. So Revelation is triggered. So they win this. Do you win your secret, Gloom?
No.
Okay, so
we get ours.
No, because you guys put out all these random neutralities that are different goddamn colors. Okay.
We get. I haven't even counted this one yet, but we get one of them. We have presence in 3 triads, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3.
We
4,
don't count
5,
for that
6,
first one, right?
7. No, we do. I think so. Presence of emotions.
Let me look.
This is a gloom emotion for that, I believe.
Let me look.
Yeah. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are tied.
Well, then that'll work for us. If it's right, then we get another major.
Isn't it presence? Like, just have cards in triads? Because in which case, we have cards in 5 triads. And
yeah.
It's 4 to 5 right now, so you do not get that one.
Rip.
Right, that's what I was saying. Like, I didn't think we counted for the first part of
You
that.
didn't get one of your 2 out of the fact that you've gotten so many so far.
Also, I pay 1 to flip another ambition.
Thank you much.
And
I like salt.
yeah, it looks like I can't get more points by taking another turn, I think. So, Lily, here's a 3rd ambition.
All right.
You deserve it.
So you still get Gloom. Oh wait, Gloom is still losing, I assume. Gloom
Well,
has 10.
it depends on how much they earned after the revelation. The timing was actually important.
Well, they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He earned all
Yeah,
of that
I
before.
got 5 points before the revelation.
Okay.
So Gloom has 10, Bliss has 8, and Balance has 11, 12.
No, Bliss has 11. They have a major and 2 minors. Wait, never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, there's no second minor in there.
Yeah, y'all have 11. They have 8.
Dude, y'all just caught it. Yeah, so Bliss, you get to move one of the remaining 3 objectives.
Um,
And the game is halfway
I'm
over.
happy with this.
Stupid Gloom coming back.
I'm happy with these. Alan, what do you think?
And
Still gonna be
then
salty as
rotate.
shit though.
All right, and that's my turn.
You ready for our comeback time,
Well,
Alan?
I have no idea. The board state has changed so much since I had planned anything. So
All right. Let's have a look at this. So,
yeah, we
how are
need
we doing on this?
essence.
1, 2, 3,
Wait,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think it's 9 for us, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
We
6,
also have
7,
9.
8, 9. All right.
Died.
I mean, I can.
And the way I
If
see it is this: is that we have a lot of intention that we can just grab really, really easily right now, just from your mere like you've got like these two you can grab really quickly, these two or these two you can all grab pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking we like just hang on, let's see. 8. But we can't get any we can't score revelations sadly, which sucks. That would have been really nice if we could do that.
Oh, they're literally all basically full.
Yeah,
Nice.
except on the next year.
Okay, so that's unfortunate.
So yeah, let's just focus on making
I
us a
can. So the thought is, I need more willpower, so I'm definitely gonna have to do something there. But what I wonder is I can move over here, drop the other optimism, which gets us the frontier. Then I can do
But
the
before I ask anymore, did you decide not to move these?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, because we have to pick a new one then, because ours was the exact same thing as the thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Us too.
right. That specifically does get bottom decked and not shuffled in.
Anyways,
Oh.
but I like dropping optimism because they can't be quelled, and I can upgrade them potentially. Although I guess I only have. Well, I don't necessarily need ambition, but
Here's an idea. That's good.
Also, don't mind dropping something in literally the last card slot that exists.
Yeah. So if you were to move and okay, so if you were to move, burning 2 cards to do 2 upgrades, then invoke, burning 1 card to do an upgrade, and then spending this to another upgrade, and for your, and then
Wait, I don't need to burn 2 cards for the move. I can just do.
Oh, yeah, that's just for intention points. So because if you max out the upgrades in a row, that gives us victory points.
Right. Okay, that's a good point.
And I think we can get 7 intention points in one turn.
Whoa.
All right, walk me through it.
All right. Move, invoke. And when it's moving and invoking, you're upgrading both these to maximum.
So I would need to find another way to get another card before I do that.
You can use an ambition to get an upgrade as well.
Oh, right. Okay.
So use that for your 4th one. So that's 2 upgrades. Then absorb essence from here.
Which I'll be able to get 4 because we'll have both frontiers.
Yeah, so that's the 5. And then you can, for your 3rd action, place down the last essence you need. There's 2 essence onto optimism to get to level 3, and that's also an intention point. That actually won't work because I was mentally assuming like
Yeah,
I was like
don't have quite enough willpower to do everything here. Or
yeah.
plus.
Yeah, you would need 2 more first. So we can definitely get 5, which is pretty. Oh, actually, uh, no, you'll be fine because as you got the essence from there, you
Oh, okay,
would
yeah.
so that'll work out.
Okay. So, let's go ahead and I'll use the ambition to upgrade here, and we'll drop kindness to get another one, which
Cool. So
gets
that's
us 1.
one intention.
I will then move over to here. That costs 1, which is my last willpower.
Oh yeah, and this is where I messed up, isn't it? That
Mm-hmm.
because what's the 1 willpower? Sure.
Because what I'll have to do, if I do that first, I get 3 willpower.
Yeah, it shouldn't be enough. So yeah, we'd only get 5 intention then, which is still really good.
Yeah. So I need to go ahead and do that now.
Yeah.
I get 3. I do also get another essence. I then, as an action, I will invoke. I'll drop innocence and courage. Ah, oh dear. Why? Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Nice.
So we'll just go ahead and grab. Doesn't really matter. Just whatever
colors make it looks pretty for you.
Yep. That does get us 2 additional intention. I'll get an extra essence. And that'll cost me 1, 2. No, just 1. To drop optimism there. And then
You can spend the last 2 to place down the 2 essence there.
onto optimism.
Yeah.
Gosh, is there... I really wish I was able to empower it. That would have been more valuable, but yeah, I think that's the best I can do. As my last action.
Cool. So that will cost you 2 willpower.
Yep.
Because you're using the Lander's Eyes for that.
Yep.
There's still another 2 intentions. That still flips the frontier to us.
Yep.
And gets us. Will you get another card to draw now? Because we got some intention.
Sure, why not? Cards are good.
Yeah.
I can. I get a free willpower.
Video
and
power.
And then you want the
Let's
ambition or the
see.
cards?
Oh.
If you want to take the cards, go for it. I don't think I'll need the.
I mean, if I get the cards, I can guarantee another intention just by building up Empower.
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
And it just gives me a little more flexibility. Well, a little
Yep.
less because I don't have the ambition. But yeah, I'm gonna draw 2 cards.
Yeah, and I'll build ambition up in my turn. So do I give you a stronger next turn?
Yeah.
All right. That was a good turn. I'm happy.
Very good.
Did y'all absorb then?
I
Uh,
did.
From
Sorry.
there, so we need to rotate that.
You did
Cool.
not rotate.
You go. Right, and I need to go AFK for just a few minutes.
How much did you
Alright.
absorb?
3.
Where did you absorb from? Over here? Or no, over here?
They had this was tied, but pre-absorb.
That's
put
what I was
this down.
checking. Okay.
Yeah, he needed that to do all this.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
No worries. I
That's
just
why I thought we
wanted
could
to.
go 7.
All right, so we cannot end it this turn. So, so I think the plan is we can get some intention points and work on stuff. 1, 2. Yeah, I don't really have a good third move. Oh, we can get a lot of intention points though. Okay. Ooh. Oh yeah, but I can only get 3 from here. I'm gonna absorb from here and get 3.
I'll rotate for you.
Thank you, and an upgrade, and I will upgrade this move. Okay, and then I will move, and I'll upgrade my move when I do it, and green one, which is an intention point, and I get a counter. I'll take gloom, and I'll move. I'll pay just 1.
Oh, did you want to convert any when you absorbed?
Oh, sure. I'll convert 1 to a bliss just so I have a ton of these things. And I'll spend my move to move here. Actually, I'll spend 1. Nah. Is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. To move here, I will then upgrade for action 2. I will upgrade using this blue guy, Quell, and I will then Quell 1 off of Remorse, spending 2.
And an
plus
ambition?
an ambition. I have the upgrade where you don't need a card, but I actually do have a yellow card, so I don't need to pay that extra one. And I have this upgrade, meaning, oh, it's only if it's off the board, probably.
Yep,
Shit.
that is correct.
Rip. I was hoping for 2 more intention points.
Can you double check? Because I think it's that.
Yeah,
maybe not.
that looks like just the removing essence symbol.
You're right. It is just the removing essence one because it doesn't have the the hex.
Yep. After this Quell action, you may use a vibe token match the quelled vibe color. Yep. So I'll use a yellow one to put here for 2
Very
more
nice.
intention points, plus the 2 intention points for quelling, which gives this back in a card. And then I have 1 more action.
Watch me do it again.
Yeah, I guess I could, but no, we're going to. What do we need to set up next time? We're going to move to here using these 2 plus the discount, so it'll cost me $1. And that is my entire turn. At the end of my turn, I will give Guerric an ambition.
Alrighty, it's a good turn, Fuglis.
Thank y'all. We're doing it.
Doing the thing.
Yeah, what do the numbers look like?
Yeah, let's do a... We're top of the round, let's do a check.
Oh, yeah, it's 5, 6, 5, 8, and 8. Which means no revelation now, but if we keep pulling, the end of the game could be very fast.
And where are all the points at right now?
Let's do a score check. It is Gloom has 10. Bliss has 5 plus 8, so 13. And then we have 6 plus 11, 17. So it's 17, 13, 10 right now. Balance, Bliss, Gloom.
All right.
All right, I am.
I think we should do what we were talking about for lots of intention.
Yeah. That's not the question so much as, all right, so I'm gonna move, boop, boop. I upgraded that to full, so I got a point. That track. That would be my first action. My question was more, should I take 2 off this or 1 and 1?
I'd say 1 and 1 just so they don't have that over our head.
That makes sense. All right, I'm gonna use an ambition token to go blue. I feel like I'm there. Well, that green piece of crap.
Yeah, so y'all get an essence and we get $1.
Oh yeah, we get
I'll let you take that because I'm about to get
you can take it. I have 1,000 essence.
Okay.
All right.
This is my card, right?
And I gain another essence.
Do we have the different backs on these?
I don't think we might not. Sorry,
I'm pretty sure it's mine.
It is, yeah. I have 2 over here.
So now
right,
that that's the state, ooh, also I should have $1 back. I paid 2 for adding 2 essence to this.
Oh yeah.
Fine.
Okay.
You could max out embarrassment instead of quelling that.
Okay.
Slow down the point train. Derail it.
What is embarrassment? Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
If I empower embarrassment, we're gonna have a really great time.
Sounds good to me. I love having great times. All right, so I will put these essences out.
It only costs
more fun.
Oh, it only costs 1. Fancy. And that's going to be 2 more points. And I get to draw a card. Then
that was 5 more intention points, plus another 2 more.
Should I still absorb? Yeah, I think I'm gonna still absorb. Absorb for 4. Nope, stop pulling from there.
So another 2. God, you went for
another 2.
Another 7 intention points. Stop.
No, never.
Well, just making up for last game, you know.
I'm still depressed.
But we got 12
I'm going
points
to
on
get
our
another ambition,
that.
and that will be my turn.
This is brutal.
Absolutely brutal.
Did you rotate?
No, they didn't.
No, I did not rotate. I will hit the button now.
I just realized, Focus, we could have had more intention points. Since you had an extra action, you could have moved over and drawn 4 from the pool instead of 3.
Oh, shit. Yeah, but oh, yeah. Oh, I took the upgrade. Yeah, it may not have been the same, because I may not have gotten one of these upgrades, so it may have not. But I could have upgraded move. Yeah, you're right. Probably cost ourselves 2 points.
Maybe it didn't. No, yeah, because it would have been 2 spots back, right? So it would have been here. So it would have been perfect. You'd have moved here. You'd had a dude here. You draw for 4. Anyway. No use crying over spilt milk. It's Tristan's turn.
Yeah.
I know those two statements weren't meant to be related. I'm trying to get the way you said them made me feel like that's trying to, like, like my turn made it more so that you shouldn't cry with spilt milk, and my brain couldn't rationalize that. Righty.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Lily scored points because she does that.
Yeah, Lily just went nuts on the intention points, and I'm trying to work out, like,
they got 7 more. So.
Oh wow, they're at 14. Okay, great.
Yeah, it's.
That's sort of my reaction.
So.
Yeah.
Lily, she removed that. That's fine. I won't worry about knowing exactly what happened.
I was there, and I still don't know exactly what happened.
They added 3 to this. They pulled 4 from here. They quelled this, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, let's see.
I
There
think
is
we
a
need
spot that you can potentially trigger.
next week. We need to play the
what's
B
the
side
count?
of the
1,
intention
2,
boards.
3. I don't
Just to
know.
see
They're
if they
so
can-
wonky.
8.
I know, but Empower is one of them. That's fun.
Is it? Is
Yeah.
it fun?
It is fun.
So I think if you trigger it now, we do win the liveliness.
Yes, definitely.
And oh.
Curses by 1.
Didn't recognize. I didn't see an opportunity.
Well, it wouldn't have helped.
Do you have a way to play kindness and trigger?
As kind of part of what I'm working. What does kindness do exactly again?
Kindness.
Yeah.
Gets you a better absorb.
Okay, I take that back. If you had done that one on that one, it would have helped.
Yeah. But I
Then
couldn't
you'd
get to
have
that.
0 cards in hand, and you can't even use that one to upgrade that.
See where it is when it gets back to me, if it gets back to me.
Oh, it's the I'm not worried about the objectives at all. As I think it's the intentions that, like, because even if because even if we got a major down, we're still behind because goddamn 40 intention point turn. And what I'm guessing is going to happen is on Brian's subsequent turn, they're probably going to just max out their intentions and end the game. It just feels like a Brian-y thing to do.
It is a very Brian-y thing to do.
So what took 2 turns.
That's for this game.
Yeah. So it's so I can get the I can get the objectives, yeah. But how many intention points can I get while doing it is just my entire thing.
Well, I feel like using the kindness ability, is it possible? Because we can potentially take control of the frontier if you're able to also build it up using Land of Desire. I just don't know if there's enough resources or turns to do that. Because if you can get kindness up to max and then suck after that, no, it doesn't work. You don't. There's no way to get enough.
It's called absorb, Alan.
Uh-huh. I heard it's called the sucky suck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see.
The also thing is that kindness, also,
it's not a when played, I don't think.
Is remorse blocking? They can't play when played at all?
So I'm thinking I might just start off by just triggering the revelation now. And then using as much as I can, like absorbing from there or something like that, and using all those resources, just trying to get as much intention as I can afterwards. But it's just what can I do intentions wise? Is the question. So I could my invoker is ready to max out, so that's something. So that would be easy to do.
So
and if I
if
max,
you do that, we just get a minor, right?
No, we have our secret. Spoilers.
We do?
Spoilers rest of table. So
You know, the real power move, Tristan, is to say that and then not trigger the revelation.
Yeah. I could have whispered it in chat, but I'm also kind of aware that you're streaming. You've got to get things interested. No, it's not fun when someone walks off 20 minutes to their own private chat where everyone else sits around talking the entire time. You know. I'm gonna keep going for the fans. Shout out to all the people watching. Hi, Sam.
Our many fans.
Well, what are they gonna do about it? It's your turn.
All right, so let's start off with the revelation. Which spoilers I did count. Hang on, listen. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 11. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, cool.
All right, get your 2 extra from the supply too.
Yep, got that.
Cool.
Just want to point out, this is entirely Balance's fault for quelling us.
I mean, again, this was.
No, it's not. You had a turn.
Yeah, that is true.
You don't get to blame us. You had a turn to fix it.
And we swung 3 essence towards
Actually,
should have done more.
Cancel that. I just yep, cool. Screw. I'm gonna do that for a second.
Oh.
Yep. Sorry, guys.
Okay, hold on.
Nope, too far. Too far again.
Oh God, where did the things go?
Because I realized that I misread our secret objective.
Ah, yes.
We lost 2 of our bins.
Oh no.
That's why we don't hit that very fast.
Sorry. Oh God, this one has 9 in it now.
That's why.
There's a thing in it.
There we go. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Does anyone have any idea if these are the right positions for these two? I'm assuming they flung rightward into each other.
Yeah, I apologize. I forgot
That's
about
right.
that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that this one was 7 and it has 8 because how else? Like, I haven't been using my power.
Yeah. So I'm going to move
this
here.
This one had 5. No, it's correct now.
Yep, I'm gonna move there. For.
Hold on. Did you give back your money?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you started with 1, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, don't put it in there. Don't put it in there. We already corrected it. Just throw it away.
Yeah. to there.
Nope.
Nope.
Wait, no, what I'm doing? I just accepted. I just like understood what you said and mentally comprehended it, then put 2 back in there anyway. All right.
I know that feeling though.
So yep. Spending 1 willpower. Then going to gain 4 willpower from the general supply using the value of motives. It's my second action. Third action is going to be to burn affection. So third action is going to be burn affection.
Relatable.
To max out invoke, get another intention. That's not what I want to say. Get another intention point there. And then
And that flips an ambition for you.
Yep.
Kindness.
All right. How much can I do there? So it's got. Yeah, I can do that. So going to spend 1, 2, 5. So Matt's going to spend 4 to flip another ambition. Because I'm really hoping that Alan might get a third turn, but I don't think that I'm getting another one. So do that. Now I'm going to suck from tranquility.
All right.
And trigger the revelation.
Take your 2 from the supply.
Yep, and then we'll 3 from the supply, because kind of.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Okay, I got it.
Alright, so yes, trigger the revelation.
Tristan, you got Mike.
Oh, sorry.
I think it's better now.
So you needed to be in more frontiers than us, and now you're in 5, and we're in 4, right, Tristan?
Yes.
All right, so they get a major. Gloom.
All right, we needed to have freaking fortresses.
Balance had to have highest intense emotion tied, which we did, and we had to have at least one with 3, which we did. So we got another major too.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have more turns. I'm sorry, Lily. But hopefully this extra ambition is able to do cool stuff for us.
I got it.
Yeah. So score check. Gloom has 14 plus 3 is 17. Balance has 10 plus 6 is 16 plus 6 is 22. And Bliss has 6 plus 13 is 19. So Gloom
you say it's
Gloom has 17, Bliss has 19, and we have 22.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought you said.
So you can shift any of these last 2. You can flip-flop these last 2 if you would like.
I suppose more frontiers, Ree?
I might not even get another turn.
I think this one might.
Oof. Guerric, I would highly recommend
doing the thing.
Oh wait, there's a thing.
The thing that I've been planning for. Let me look at.
Oh.
I guess we have to go with that one.
Oh, this is an interesting personal objective.
Well, I was gonna say you should pull. My comment was I would pull from the 8s, so Brian can't trigger on his turn.
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, I haven't even got this. What the hell? I'm not even sure this one's even possible.
Well, that's good, because I have no idea how to counter anything y'all are doing.
Oh, lordy.
Yeah, can you decipher and type in team chat?
I'm trying to right now.
What the situation is based on this card. God, we have to do a lot of work.
I just want another turn. That's all I want. I don't care if I win.
Hopefully, good one. I kind of, I flipped the third mission rather than drawing new cards, assuming that you will get another turn. So, at least you have a full whack of ambition to use.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it'll be really disappointing if I don't get to do something. That said, I only have one willpower and no essence, so.
And whatever comes around your turn, if you just absorb off the bat, you'll get like a bunch of willpower. And then you have up to 4 actions to use. I mean,
I'm at least in the right spot for absorbing.
Yeah.
All right, I think this is my turn. I start out by absorbing 2 from here, and I draw a card. Rotate the board. Then I will move. I will upgrade it. With this guy. Move to here. And then I will empower. Upgrading with this guy. Yeah. Spending 2. And I will empower neutrality here into the one and only inspiration.
So you get a free upgrade. Oh shoot!
Wait, what's the timing for that?
3 more.
Yeah, that is gonna screw things up.
What's the timing for that?
When this comes off the board, so it'd be now. I mean, you'll get 3 instead of 2, but 3 is.
I mean, I literally can just like undo one of the upgrades. So like.
No, but it's fine because you get 1 upgrade for whichever one you have the least of. So just put a different color here. The least of would still be 3, and you'll be able to upgrade all 3 of these things for 5 points. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
It's actually better.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, and that's actually even better because then I can.
Well, let's explain to Alan what inspiration does.
Or are you putting it on this thing?
I'm putting it.
For a reference, I don't see one.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh wait, God, is remorse only bliss emotions? Because this may not work.
What do you mean is remorse only bliss emotions? What are you talking about?
Remorse blocks on playtext.
This is not going to work.
Oh, it doesn't work because of remorse, really? Remorse has the orange symbol.
When played,
It says opposing emotions, and this is technically an opposing emotion, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
It's he's not on our team. Plus the fact that you could argue like, well, it's only for bliss emotions. Well, guess what? This is technically a bliss emotion.
Yeah, and I also get $1.
Well, hold on.
Hold on. I mean, if it's impossible, you're not getting the $1. Whoa there, Buster.
Yeah, I think by how I would interpret the rules, unfortunately, this is not going to work.
Let me do a quick check.
Yeah, remorse.
I'm feeling a weird emotion that's kind of a mix of like, I'm glad that you can't do that thing, which we've got a ton of points. At the same time, I mean, inspiration's so cool. Like, I'm a little sad you can't play it.
I know, it's 5 points, but I mean, based on... Yeah, we probably just needed to get remorse off the freaking board.
Please do!
Well, I mean, I can do it on my turn, Guerric, but it's not going to be as good. And who knows if I'm even going to have a turn.
Yeah, I mean, that was like my big move.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a different one.
I just didn't realize it was a win played card in it. But I mean, it makes sense that it is, but
I just didn't think about it being an opposing emotion. I'm trying to check the rule book now, but we'll see if it's even.
I mean, the rule book, yeah, there needs like there is an FAQ on BGG, but I'm not even sure it even answers this. I'm gonna ask in the.
I know last time we looked in the FAQ, it had like barely anything for balance.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask on the Discord, but they usually don't answer for like a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to Google it and I'm just getting psychiatry stuff.
Theming in this game is certainly interesting.
It's something.
What gets me is like, so the balance team's theme is that they think that they don't want either side to win, because like they think that like being overly happy is as bad as being overly sad. What I'm saying is they're enlightened centrists. Both sides are just bad guys. They're exactly the same. Someone being really depressed is just as bad as someone being really happy.
Where were you, Guerric? In case you want to redo everything.
Yeah, 1 second.
I mean, I think we need to play it as. I think that's
yeah.
a
I've
safe interpretation.
Just finished flipping through the rulebook and I don't see anything. So
I'd say we go with that, even though it hurts us.
Yep. Nope. I agree.
By the wording, that makes the most sense.
So
you pulled from this getting a card. You pulled 2 from there.
Yeah. So let me reset.
I will slowly re-rotate this. Okay.
God, remorse, so good.
I know that is a pain in the ass.
Really?
I will text. I will paste in the chat what they say. The guy who wrote the rule book, like, is always in the Discord. So
wait, real quick. How much willpower did you just take off my board?
It does
2.
say balance emotions are always counted as opposing team emotions when it comes to
There we go.
emotion card powers.
Cool.
I mean, that answers that question.
Yeah, how much did you just take off my board, Fuglis?
I just took 2.
Let me double check that that's right. I don't know if I'd spent the 2 on the Empower now. I don't remember how much I started with. I thought I had more than 2 to start the turn. Is the thing.
I believe you did too, but I'm pretty sure you did.
Also, in case you're trying to quell that, that is empathy that you're standing on.
No, I know. I was not. I literally don't have quell actions right now.
I think you started with 4.
I thought so
too. To rewind your stream, right?
No, not while I'm streaming. I swore I started with like 4, which means I must have paid for the Empower because it would have cost me 2.
Oh, you definitely paid for it because we were already like basically pulling it off the board.
So. Yeah, so I started with 4.
All right, sorry about that.
Nope.
We've been working up to that forever, and stupidly didn't even think about that.
And do you still have this presence?
Nope, that guy had 3.
He did have 3.
Oh, okay.
All right, so now what do we do?
Now I have no clue.
I know we're in a rough little spot here, I think.
Just working it out though, so you guys have 10, 16.
We have 22.
22. So Brian will have to get 6, 7
points, because it's impossible to get 6. Like, you always get an odd number of points in this game.
Yeah.
Well, we need to get some intention points then, Guerric.
21.
Yeah, I know.
Get a cushion.
So yeah, if you get
that was my
points,
big intention points, so I got to figure things out.
Yeah, as long as you get 3 more, I'm pretty sure Brian can't end it or he'll lose unless he gets like 9 points, and I wouldn't put it past him to do that. But it does make it more difficult.
I mean, it's not like I get to do that sort of meme every day. Like, last time I completely filled up my board.
What's the current goal? More frontiers. It's
Which is
currently
now
3-2. Okay.
I mean, I still think you should pull from the 8s. You could pull 4 if you, but it's only 1 intention point. I guess that's not that great. You could fill up this guy, but not sure that's that great.
Damn.
And you guys can put essence on our cards, right?
No.
Okay.
And vice versa. We can't put stuff on their cards.
Right.
Okay.
Our cards are considered balance emotions except for revelations, basically.
Gotcha. Reference for what your cards do somewhere?
It's unfortunately we didn't make a thing for that.
Isn't there one in like chat somewhere?
Yeah, I can post it. Yeah, I can I'll post in the Discord channel. I have pictures of them. There you go. So our neutralities, they have very basic effects when they're removed. It's not very big, sorry. And then we have 6 empower emotions that do stuff when they're empowered, which makes sense. They're not quite as exciting as your stuff, but inspiration's really cool. And when Guerric would have set his board up perfectly for it, we screwed up. I mean, we could just get this thing. Getting this off the board helps us for other stuff too. And if you did that, if you moved and quelled twice, that would still be 3 points for quelling twice. It's not the worst thing ever. You'd actually have you have everything you need already, so you can pull from anywhere. I think that's the best. Get this off the board, and then we might pull off inspiration at some point. Though they may try to get this off. Who knows?
Now that we've played our hand.
Plus, getting this off the board helps us for our objective as well in a roundabout way, though I don't think it'll ever happen, but that's still 3 points.
Move, quell.
I mean, if you want 3 points, you can quell these 2 boys. Or quell this and absorb. Or quell this, invoke, absorb.
Yeah, that's true. You can get 3 points by putting one of ours and pulling from here too.
Skater, I've not yet done a Private Firms playthrough. That's probably the next week or two. Back to thinking. 2, 3, 5. Three, 4, 5. All right. It looks like I can maybe get 5 intentions this turn.
Oh, juicy. Then go for it.
I can do it in 2 ways, I think.
Okay.
I can either double quell this guy and then invoke and max out invoke. So that would be the that'd be.
But how are you gonna double quell? You have to move here.
You're right. Nope, that's down an action. All right. Well, I can get 5 intentions a different way.
Hey, what's the other way?
I move over here, quell this, invoke here, suck for 4.
That's still only 3. Oh, because you upgrade invoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that's fine. I mean, I can deal with this on my turn.
I can maybe do it here too. I guess I could do it to guilt maybe.
I don't think it really matters where you do it. It's just.
It matters where I suck from.
Oh, you're pulling 4 from here though.
You
could pull 4 from here. The 8, yeah, do that. But I guess they could still end it then.
They could still end it.
It's gonna be way over here, and they'd have to like deal with that frontier.
Yeah, I think that's probably okay. So I'll let me plan this. I will need this to quell, that to unlock quell. Invoke with this and play this, I think. Okay, I think it works out, so I can't upgrade move. Okay, first action is to move over here.
That's free.
Second action is to quell, starting out by unlocking it.
Right, I'll take my obligatory $1.
This guy. Reveal a yellow card. Flip an ambition. Pay 2 willpower. And that gets us 1 intention point.
Whoops. You do it.
Then I will invoke.
It's not that easy. Get it. There you go.
Yeah, it was hitting the edge of the here and the essence before that.
Are you deciding who to invoke for?
Yeah, I'm invoking this.
We should keep this tied probably.
Yeah, so whoever you say
we could. Well, who's next? Brian. You could make it for Bliss, so then he has to like waste if he wants to win. I don't know. It's up to you. It was a gloom one, right? So yeah, you could keep it tied, or I see arguments either way.
Let me think about it in a second after I read what I just unlocked.
Oh, that means when you invoke, you can switch out a color for another color.
Actually, what it's saying is you can the essence you place can be from the supply, but then you pay it in the opposite color.
Oh.
Subtly different, but a little better.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little better because if you don't have one, you can still play it.
That's pretty good, then.
Yeah. But I'm set up to not need it. Anyway, we're trying to balance frontiers.
Oh, it's frontiers. It's not essence on the board anymore.
No, it's frontiers. So there's not a great option here because
no matter what you put there,
it's a problem.
Yeah. Make this be controlled. But
I think I make it a gloom in this
I'm
case.
not going to trigger the revelation.
I'm going to pay for it.
I would make it gloom too.
I'm going to pay for it with the bliss. Okay, maxing out invoke got another 2 points. That got me another essence. So that was 1, 2, 3, and then I will absorb.
Pulling 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good turn.
You got the points already?
Uh-huh.
Did we get anything else from that? Nope. Okay. That's the end of my turn. Fugless, do you want the ambition? Because there's a chance I don't get another turn.
I mean, yeah, you should probably get.
Yeah.
Because I could double.
All right, time to score 7 points. So, first off,
we gotta rotate the board.
I turn 3 willpower into 3 gloom essence. Secondly, I pay none in order.
He's back again.
Thus flipping an ambition.
Wait, why did that one give you 3 points? What was the first point?
Never mind. That's only the first one.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna suck 4 from here.
Yep.
Which also gives me an upgrade on move, which is gonna be a green. Then I'll flip an ambition to get a yellow upgrade right here.
So just so you know, if you get 7, then in the game you still lose, right?
Well, no,
Yeah,
it's 7
but
will
I'm
put
gonna
him in.
lose a hell of a lot harder if 2 people get turns. So now I'm doing a move action.
I mean,
With,
don't you want to get yourself to 19, max out that points you can get, and then give us an opportunity to beat balance?
Nah.
Okay.
It was a good try, Tristan.
I mean, just letting balance definitely win feels like that feels weird to me.
See, at this point, we're king-making either.
If
we're
I'm not
king-making
winning
either way, so that's the position we're in right now.
King-making that happens as an effect of not acting feels better to me, but it's up to.
It's still making either way because we have to make a choice to either do something or not do something.
Then I spend 1 to place 2 essence on there, maxing that out.
I'm just a little salty.
And I maxed out my move track, so there we go. 7 points.
God, you only got 3 points from the middle. That's so funny. All right, so the final score is Gloom has 24.
Yeah, going first was extremely bad for us because we could never trigger the revelation.
Not with 3.
Doing it.
Bliss has 6 plus 13 for 19. And then Balance has 11.
And we also took
plus 21.
Nope.
27. Dude, you still only lost by 3. Jesus. We did it, Guerric.
We did it, Fugless.
Does that feel satisfying? Does being king
I will take what I can get.
For it being my first game, I want to at least point out I had my turn planned out, and I was gonna score 9 intentions, and Tristan didn't have to tell me how to do any of it.
That is impressive.
9 isn't a lot.
So I want to know how you would do that. Can you like show us?
Yeah, go ahead and run it through. Show us.
Yeah, yeah, sure, whatever.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Well, so, I mean, I'm already set up. I suck 4. That's automatically an intention.
Yeah.
I do quell. I use one of the ambitions to upgrade, and all 3 cards to upgrade quell to get the second set of ambitions.
Twice, you can't trash 3 cards. You can only trash 2.
Oh, that's a good point. So I'd have to use the second ambition. Nope.
Also,
yeah,
you're gonna have to move more in order to quell, because you.
Oh, the move's not actually. You know what? It's not a problem because I only need 2 actions. I move and I quell, so I can use my 3rd action to get an extra card, so that I don't.
Well, you also get to draw an extra card from.
Yeah.
Absorbing.
How's that? 9 then?
Which is going to trigger the revelation.
Yeah, I probably just quell twice is probably what I have to do because I had an extra action to do it. But yeah,
Okay.
basically I
So
get three intentions off of quelling, one off of sucking, and one off of upgrading.
Nice.
and 5 total also from that quell since you end up maxing it out, right?
So that's
Maxing
7, yeah.
and doing it twice.
Yeah, so I mean I get the first one off
Yeah,
the suck.
you would get 9 points.
Yeah.
Absorb, move, quell.
That's that's 7, right?
Uh,
No, that
absorb,
gets it to 9
move,
because I can do
quell with
the
it max
ability.
upgraded.
Yeah, I can do the ability that allows me to quell 3 at a time.
Yeah, but it's only
I don't get the full value the first time, but
No,
So
you need to do 2 quell actions, but you are going to get the full upgrade from doing 2 quell actions.
yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? I think I get more. So I can get quell this fully off. That's 3 sets, and then I can, as the second quell, I can do this one.
Okay, you can jump all the way over here.
I have move 3.
Yeah,
Boop.
uh,
Done.
yeah, that works. And
So
But
then
you still
actually, yeah, it would have been 11 intentions.
no, so you're only getting quell intentions for each quell action you do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
why
don't
I
get
Oh,
would
one
it's
do
the
for.
action.
not
Yeah.
for
So
each
you would.
turn you take off.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Oh,
you
never
you would
mind then.
still only finger quotes get 7, but 7's still
Only.
really good.
7's amazing.
Fine. Well then, I betray my lack of knowledge once again.
No, you're good.
No, you're
that's-
good. You played a good game.
it's
Tune in next time for me to be
Great.
bad at being Chancellor and Oath.
Oh yeah, who won that oath game? Who
Alan
won?
did.
Oh wow, but then they didn't do bad at Chancellor then.
It was mostly because Lily was forced to help me.
You also played a good game. Don't undersell yourself.
I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah, I feel like I did next to nothing in this game.
I mean, it's a lot going on, but you
You
got to
did
remember
not
it's a team
do
game.
next to
So
nothing. It's a game of incremental games.
I literally sat here almost the
Yeah.
entire game, and I feel
No,
like I
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Stuff.
I
Well,
moved
it's more
twice.
like it's more like every action I took was very reactive. I didn't have much in the way of proactive actions.
Well, there's a lot of
bugs me.
counter punching in this game. You got to
Yeah.
especially because you went second. So like if Bliss had gone first, y'all would have been probably setting the tone, and then
Yeah.
Yeah. In any case, cool. I like it though.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
it is a good game.
Yeah.
And I think I want to try it. Let's do
That-
the other
that
side
was,
next time.
like insane that we were getting like 6 things dropped so fast too.
6. What
Like,
dropped?
everyone double invoked on the first turn.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think I kept that train going too. So
I mean, the entire board is full, so that's not usually.
I
I
think we had 10 freaking cards on the board at the end of my turn.
Yeah, I came into the game thinking I was going to be doing empowering, which is why I have 2 of my wild bliss down here. And then I never did the action because I couldn't afford to do it.
Yeah.
Because if I had bothered to do that, all of the card slots would have been taken up.
Yeah, I've made that mistake before, putting stuff into empower and then never being able to empower. It's rough.
Yeah, like I kept Guerric from T-posing harder by empowering that, so worth.
Honestly, I think it probably would have gotten me like the same basic number of intentions. So it denied me the cool move, but I don't think it actually changed the result.
So what is the counterplay against balance? Because like
it's really hard because they have 2 secrets.
Well, now that you know the game, probably. I mean, I'll post in the Discord because if you know which ones we have, you can try to figure out what we're trying to do. So if we're putting fortresses on the board, we have this one probably. So you could start
in all
getting
reality,
our fortresses off.
From what I've seen, I feel like the best way to do that, to neutralize them, is to just get rid of neutrality. Because if they don't have neutrality out on the board, they can't really do a lot of their things are messed
all
up.
of their secret objectives rely on
having neutrality,
existing.
And I'll be honest, we got a really good sequence of aspirations throughout the game.
Yep.
Like, the last one was the first time where we were like, oh, yeah, okay, we're not getting this.
Yeah, that was, and
we
no
also
chance
never went out of our way to get rid of these.
But Lily makes a great point. If you want to counterbalance, just get these off, because almost
get those
everything.
off. It doesn't matter if they're yours or whoever's they are, just get them off.
And it feels bad because they are, helping you, but it's what you have to do.
And so I think B-side intentions look a lot more interesting to me because they all look a little harder.
Do it.
And I think having harder intentions be good, because I think right now
they're definitely harder.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
One's quelling, one's putting a fortress in the middle, which is obviously no one even built a fortress. And then empowering's always fun because, dude, the empowered emotions are whack.
Yeah, it'll be interesting making intentions a lot weaker because they're very strong on the A side.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's try it next time. And then each row, it says row, but what it means is
column.
having. Yeah, it means having one upgrade in every action.
So the A side incentivizes specialization, where the B side incentivizes diversity.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that you actually have to do fortify actions.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I'll be honest, fortify is sometimes great. Like the game that Fuggus and I almost stomped in the other day, it's because we spammed fortresses from turn 1.
We had 3 on by the time our second turn, or the second player went. We had
and we almost won just by having all of them out and then capping instantly, basically. So it's a strat.
But that's why you get an action for getting rid of fortresses. So it's a free action, basically. Though it is expensive.
It's very expensive. I think fortify is probably a little expensive.
Yeah, no, the B side. Because there's so many. I mean, that's one thing. If I wish saw more of this game. It was because the empowered emotions are so crazy fun. But you usually only see 1, maybe 2 a game.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to see more. But that still makes it more fun because you usually see totally different ones every game. I don't think I've ever seen.
Usually the only one that we see is courage, because if you set it up right, it immediately maxes out.
Right.
I mean, you guys saw me draw courage, and then immediately this slot was filled up. Because that would have just been too good.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yep. Well, I was about to say, all right, guys, let me shut down the stream. Thank you, everyone, for playing. Thank you, everyone, for watching. This was Mind Clash Monday, Cerebria, whatever you want to call it. We will probably do it again next week. Tomorrow we have trains. Wednesday is John Company. Thursday.
I think we might be planning a coin game on Thursday.
Coin or Westphalia, one of the two. Friday's maybe Oath. I don't think we talked about that. Did we have something else on Friday?
We don't have anything currently scheduled, so I would love to get a game of Oath in.
Well, we've got games on the horizon, so keep an eye out for those. If you like what we're doing, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. We appreciate it. And have a good one.
Bye, everyone.